I call Ralph and I go, and he calls me and goes,
What did he laughed at one thing once, Eric, a sports joke or something.
Yeah.
That was it.
One time he laughed. Eric never laughed. You're so serious.
That's
I really do wish you would have...
Might have loosened you up.
Yeah, I really do. I'm sorry you didn't take advantage of that, but I understand your concern about your parents, but I even think your dad would understand, but that's just me.
They're treating you like a baby.
You're not. You're a man. It's my opinion.
Oh, okay. So, Artie, did you buy another baseball or softball?
No, I didn't play.
Did you show your dad a photo of Tabitha Stevens?
No.
Do you want me to send you some pictures you can show your dad?
Yeah, I guess so.
He'll agree to it, believe me.
All right, I'll do that for you.
Once he checks out this piece.
And show them to your dad. Don't just use them to...
Right.
All right. All right, Eric, I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye for now is his new sign-off.
I know.
Yeah.
He
Bye
has
for
it.
now. Bye for now.
Hey, Eric the Midget's on the phone, Gary. We got to do this.
What's going on?
Hey, Eric.
Good morning.
He wants Catherine McPhee's phone number because we've got it. And Gary even called her. And the chick from American Idol.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I just said that.
What?
When did I ever ask for that?
We told you we could get it for you.
Oh.
Do you have that little tape?
Preview page 2.
Hey, you ready to come in your pants, Eric? Get ready. Here you go. Wait. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna give you something here for you to... With your midget. Hold on a second. Where is that? Where is that, Gary? Oh, here we go. Ready? Here we go.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee. Ow. Ow.
Are you excited, Eric?
Yeah, it's interesting.
We decided we're not giving... Hey, do you think you can give out her number to him? Why not?
I could give it to him.
But he's got to do something for it.
Yeah.
You got to slap against the phone.
Oh,
All right, I tell you what, I'll make it easy for you. You got to measure it. You got to measure it.
I turned off all the lights and everything. I don't have any way to...
You turned off all your lights to talk to Howard?
Oh, it's almost 4 in the morning here. After I got off the phone, I was going to go to sleep.
We got to have something in return for giving you the number.
We can't just give it out.
And don't, by the way, if you do get her number, don't, call her every 3 seconds.
And don't tell her we gave it to you.
Right. Yeah, that's the rules.
I know, I won't do that.
All right. Call her and maybe leave a message. And
What's
if you
he
don't...
going to say to Catherine McPhee?
Yeah, what are you going to say? Just let's go over this so I don't get in trouble.
Hi, Catherine. This is Eric. I'm a big fan of...
Click! Better say Eric.
Well, let him go. All right, so far I got no problem with this. Go ahead.
I'm a big fan of yours. I hope you win American Idol for this week. Good luck.
You got to tell her you'll be voting for her.
Wait, don't you have to explain to her who you are and, what the show means to you?
No. But don't say anything about that you're a friend of Howard Stern or anything.
Okay, but how would I explain who I was without mentioning...
Because then she's going to know I gave you the phone number.
I know, but without mentioning the show.
Well, just say, my name is... forget the show. Say Jay Leno gave it to you. You're a regular on Jay Leno.
All right, throw Jay Leno under the bus, okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not? Who cares? It throws everybody else under the bus.
Don't look at it that way, Eric.
Yeah. Just don't bring up my name, because then I look...
Right.
Yeah, when the police come, don't say we gave you the number.
You know what you ought to tell her? Tell her you can deliver California with the vote. You know what I mean? Hello.
Well, you're on MySpace, right? And you could get everybody to vote for her, your fan base.
No, he's got to go like this.
Hello, Catherine.
Oh, my friend.
My name is Eric. I'm calling you because I'm one of the guys in control of the California vote for American Idol. I just want you to know.
I hold a block of voters.
I hold a block of voters of over 4 million people.
That's how you bring in our show.
So Eric, are you going for Catherine or Travis? Who's your pick?
Well, Travis. There's no one named Travis.
Taylor.
Yeah, who's Travis?
I don't know. They're all the same.
Taylor.
No, I'm going for Catherine.
You haven't even seen the performances yet.
Well, one reason I want Catherine is because I think Taylor's whole soul patrol thing would get annoying after a while.
It is annoying. You got a ruler there? You got a ruler in your apartment. You got some measuring device.
And you got a light.
Yeah. You can't use the excuse the lights are out. I can't measure my...
What was there, an earthquake?
Let's just go over this again. You're going to say, look, you control a block of 4 million voters through connections in the media, okay? You don't even have to mention Leno.
And you can deliver them to her. What are you going to ask for her?
And just say, I'm letting you know that I'm going to do this for you, but remember the name Eric.
Oh, you got to have something like, I want a personal, I want a meeting, or...
I want to take a meeting with you.
Yeah, you could tell that you took a meeting with Carrie Underwood, right? Backstage at that concert that time?
Right.
Tell her you're just looking for a meeting.
Yeah, I could see that. I got the chance to meet Carrie Underwood last year on the American Idol tour. I was hoping to be able to get to meet her on this tour.
Yeah, but you gave Carrie Underwood your block of votes, and look what happened to her.
Yeah. Say you backed her, and look what happened.
Right.
But don't bring up my name, that I gave you the phone number.
Oh, no.
All right.
I wouldn't do that.
Thank
See
you.
how nice he got? He's all nice now.
Oh, yeah, he's a sweetheart.
The only thing... Here, wait, let me give him another shot of this.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee.
Wow, that sounds hot.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee.
Oh!
Is there more to that message?
Yes, there is. Very much more.
She just called up and said her name, Eric.
But I'm just giving you the key. No.
Let me see here.
What are you doing?
He's getting his ruler out.
I'm getting out my... Taking out...
Let me see here.
Cotangent, cosine.
You got a ruler there?
Hang on.
All right. I'll give you this one more time in case you get
I
nervous.
don't have a ruler, but would a straw work?
A straw.
I don't know.
A straw?
How many? Map?
Pretty long.
Yeah, but how many inches is a straw? You know what I mean? I want to know inches.
Say about a foot.
Oh, get out of here. The straw's a foot?
That's a long straw.
I thought he was saying his foot.
No.
Yeah, oh, Christ.
I tell you what, you get a hold of a ruler and call me back.
All right. The straw's about 8 or 9 inches.
Yeah, but I need an exact measurement. And not from your balls. From your shaft.
Okay. I'll try to find something. I'll call you back.
All right. What is it, Gary?
He should have to... Listen, he's got all those digital cameras and computers and everything. Just take a picture of it and email it to us.
I don't want a picture of it.
No, we won't. But
I'm not doing that.
there's no way you're 8 inches. Give me a break.
He didn't say he was 8 inches.
I think one of the guys said he was 8 inches.
He's going to measure it. He's going to go get a ruler, and then he's going to call us back. You know?
Right.
I mean, that's the only way you're going to know.
Get a tape measure, too. Don't we want to know girth?
Do you have a friend with an 8-inch? You could, do a stunt thing with us?
I'm not doing that.
All right. Just go get a ruler. That's not a hard task, and we're going to do a measurement here. And then call me back as soon as you have the ruler.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right. Eric the Midget going to measure his...
For Catherine McPhee's phone number.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee.
Pharrell and Shuli were busting Eric the Midget's balls the other night on the air. Did you hear that?
Did they have him on?
No, what they did was, Pharrell had him on the phone, and then Shuli does this voice, Derek the Midget. And he was trying to engage Eric the Midget in a
conversation.
Yeah, but it's impossible. I'll play a clip from there.
I want to bring in Derek the Midget. Go ahead, Derek.
Hello, Pharrell.
Oh, hey, what's up, Derek the Midget?
Hello, Eric. I've been meaning to speak to you for quite some time now. Okay. Turns out you stole my spot on the Howard Stern show.
What do you think of that, Eric? I got some guy, Derek the Midget, saying that Eric the Midget stole his gig.
I was supposed to be the only midget on the show. Well, then you'd have to take that up with Beetlejuice as well. He's a little person. Let me tell you something, pal. I have more talent in my wheelchair joystick than you have in your midget.
What do you think of that?
Something. I got a proposition. Me and you in a battle box fight in an octagon. So, come on, Sizzle Neck.
Thank you for listening. For more great content, subscribe to Battle Chats on YouTube.
What did he call him? Sizzleneck? What's up with that? I mean, Derek, he just insulted him. Eric, you don't need this either, do you?
No. If I see you, I'll roll over you like a speed bump.
Hey, Derek, it sounds like you get a lot of...
I got it falling out of my chair. I got so much.
Eric, come on, man. Defend yourself.
He has nothing to say. I don't really know what to say in response to this guy. That's because I own you. You are my midget. Except if he wants my spot in the whack pack, he could take it, because I never wanted to be in there in the...
Yeah, you never wanted to be in there in the first place. You didn't need any of these shenanigans. It's all a bunch of...
I bet I could stick my finger farther up than you can yours. I'm not someone that would try that, so...
Would you try a Coke bottle?
No.
Once, what about you? Would you try... Oh, I just lost Derek the Midget. Do you think he'll call back? Hold on. Hey, Blunts, would you stick a Coke bottle up?
What?
I don't know. But Derek the Midget was fighting with Eric the Midget.
Yeah. Everyone's shoving something up.
Discussion down there. Oh, man.
Say, is Shuli like a regular on Pharrell's show now?
He's on a lot. I don't know if he's a regular.
Pharrell's vibing with Shuli. I think there's something going on there.
It's a good gig.
Yeah. I think there's some sort of chemistry thing going on. Shuli with Derek the Midget, his new character.
I like it.
Yeah, it was good. Hello, Eric.
Good morning.
Eric, last time you said, when we asked the measurement, you said 8 inches. We want to make it clear. Don't measure you. We want your measured.
Yeah.
If you measure your waist, it will be 100 inches.
Nice. He's giving me fat jokes back.
Let's see.
I'll accept that.
I was looking for my... Gary, where is my Catherine McPhee message? I can't find it. Yeah. I need a co-pilot sitting next to me.
I'm looking.
He can't even find it.
No. You need 4 guys.
Preview page 2.
Preview page 2. Thank you.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee.
Eric wants Catherine McPhee's phone number real bad. All he's got to do is measure his midget. And then it says. What'd you do? You went out and got a ruler?
Yeah.
Where'd you get a ruler at that time of night? In California. In California.
There actually was one in an art drawer that I have.
You're an artist?
Yeah, I do drawings.
Now, are you sitting there with your pants off?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trusting you to be honest.
Yeah.
You're a painter, huh, Eric?
No, I just draw.
All right.
Your new name could have been Tiny Curtis.
All right, you ready?
Yes.
Turn off your radio.
It's off.
No, it's not.
What is that? Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, hang on. I gotta go. Oh, mine doesn't come with a remote.
He needs the remote more than anybody.
Jesus. That's almost cruel, not giving him a remote.
Now, describe what's going on there. You're in your wheelchair, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
No underpants, nothing.
Well, shirt's on, that's it.
All right. And where do
He's sitting there in a shirt with no bottoms?
Right.
Oh, my God.
And what about your ruler? Where is that?
I got it.
All right.
Is it a 12-inch ruler?
Actually, the ruler's 14.
It's up.
You got a ruler that's 14 inches long?
Yeah.
All right.
Where did you find that?
Won't your chair get
No, I got out of the chair.
Where are you?
On the bed.
So you're laying on the bed on your back?
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to picture this.
And you're fully aroused?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
You did that for the measuring?
How'd that happen?
I just thought of some things.
Who'd you think about?
Just various different women.
Who's in the catalog?
And who's your number one go-to thinking about a girl if you're going to...
This one female on the internet.
Cindy Margulis?
No.
She's lame. Most downloaded.
Kid, you got a ruler out and you're thinking about a girl on the internet?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold it. Derek the Midget's on the phone. He wants to yell at you. Yes, Derek?
Why don't you think of Ryan Seacrest? What's longer, the joystick on your chair or your...
Why don't you get a life and get off the phone?
By the way, for those of you who don't know, this is Derek the Midget, who claims that he was the original midget on the show and feels Eric has stolen his thunder.
That's right, I had a shirt that said Derek the Astronaut long before Eric showed up. He screwed me, and I will find...
Well, Derek, we're going to measure Eric's right now, and you're kind of doing a... All right?
Sorry.
All right. Now, Eric?
Yes.
Are you ready to measure?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
It's,
Be honest. From your shaft, not from your balls.
I know.
All right.
I remember what you told me.
All right.
5 inches.
You're 5 inches.
Fully aroused.
Wow.
Somewhere a little over.
Dude. Swear on your mother's life you're really measuring.
Yeah.
Say it.
I swear on my mother's life I really measured.
Wow.
And you're somewhat of a celebrity. You could be getting like Billy Barty type. I'm the Tommy Lee. Yeah, midget. You're a Tommy Wee.
I got to tell you, Eric, proportionally, that's not too bad. 5 inches.
That's about a third of his height, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a 30 of...
I think I'm 5 inches.
Yeah, I ain't much more than that.
If you never want to get a woman off, that's a great size to be.
Derek the Midget, what are you? What size are you?
I'm 7.5.
7.5 inches?
Oh, that hurts.
Total height, not my...
Wow, 5 inches, Eric the Midget. I'm shocked, Eric.
Well, going by the theory that every guy doubles it, it's 2.5.
Are you pushing down on the ruler? Like, are you, like, trying to make that base bigger?
No.
All right.
Is the ruler in...
Is it at the taint or is it at the ball?
Mm-hmm. I was born without a taint. It's a rare condition.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you, Derek. Eric, hold the line for a second.
Eric gets the number, huh?
Derek, thank you.
Thank you.
Eric, I'm going to give you her number.
Okay. Thank you.
Here's if Eric the Midget was Tabitha Stevens.
Not that quick again.
Hold on. I need to start my power chair.
Oh, hi, Eric.
Hello, Tabitha.
Well, enough of the small talk, Eric. Let's...
Hey, watch your mouth. I want this to be special. No foul language. This is our little secret. Now hop on my power chair.
Oh, let me unzip your Oshkosh Bagage.
They're man pants. I had them short.
Thank you for listening. For more great content, subscribe to Battle Chats on YouTube.
Oh, your little midget is hard.
Of course. I should have been dead 10 years ago, and I've never been...
Can I your midget?
No. First, I want you to...
Oh, Eric, you're so kinky.
In my face, with my mouth open.
Here I go.
Wow.
Can't stand that.
You hate that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great impression, you have to admit, though.
No.
He's not going to admit anything.
Hi, Gary. It's Catherine McPhee.
Well, you're going to get Catherine McPhee's phone number, but just do me a favor. Don't tell her it came from me, okay?
I know I won't do that.
All right. Congratulations on your 5 inches.
Are you going to play the rest of the message?
No. That's private. You go do your own thing. I'm going to give you the number.
Okay.
Report back to us, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. You know he wanted Catherine McPhee's phone number real bad if he was willing to measure his...
Yeah, he usually doesn't participate in any of this.
Do you believe he was accurate and honest with the 5 inches? He did swear.
I guess.
He said it was a fraction larger than that. Or longer than that.
Everybody exaggerates, but... I'm thinking about American Idol. Where is Catherine McPhee, Blue Iris calling Eric the Midget?
That's what I was going to tell you. It's on the Gary preview page.
Okay. I got to start with that, and then I'll work my way through.
And then it's followed by an angry voicemail from Eric.
You guys will... I haven't even heard this, but the premise is funny.
You know what? I didn't... You'll enjoy it a lot.
All right, where is it?
On the Gary preview page.
Gary preview page. Bear with me while I scroll through 50,000 pages. Okay, here we go. So the idea was Eric got a call from Catherine McPhee. All right.
Hello. Hi, Eric. This is Catherine McPhee. No, it's not. Good luck. Hello. Hello. This is Blue Iris. Hello. Who's Blue Iris? This is Catherine McPhee. Tell Stern that this is not funny. Oh, my God. Catherine McPhee loves... Who is it? It's Catherine McPhee. Stick your midget tongue in...
Oh!
I know who this is. It's not funny anymore.
I want you to
put funny when it began.
I want you to put your head inside my...
You don't want to put my hand in my fist outside your face. Stop calling.
I'll just on Taylor Hicks. Jesus, what a grumpy munchkin.
Of course, Eric had to call us and complain.
Hello, it's me, Eric. I was calling because the fact that someone keeps prank calling me from the offices with Blue Iris, trying to pass herself off as Catherine McPhee. I mean, come on. I can tell the difference between the voices. I'm not like Gary the Retard or Wendy. I have the ability to...
Wasn't there one where Eric fell for it, though? There was. I remember some crank call that Eric fell for.
Oh, yeah, we had somebody call him as, like, Carrie Underwood, didn't we?
Right. He fell for
and
it.
he fell for that one.
Tell people's voices apart. So tell them, whoever it is, it's not funny. It wasn't funny when the first call came in, and it's not funny when the fifth or sixth one came in. It's ridiculous. And Stern's going to hear about it tomorrow. Bye for now.
Hold it. There's a very upset Eric the actor on the phone.
Oh.
Hello, Eric.
Good morning.
Tough morning for you?
Yeah.
Did you get any sleep last night?
I voted 4,000 times. Not that many.
How many times did you vote for Catherine McPhee?
330.
You know, if you had done 70 more, she might be the winner today.
Notice they didn't give the percentages. I think that kid Taylor Hicks won in a landslide.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I thought they never did.
Wasn't even
at
close.
The end.
No, they do if it's close.
Yeah.
They crow about that.
Eric, your endorsement means...
I think you worked against her, actually.
I have a bet, Eric, and tell me the truth. I say you called McPhee after she lost.
Nope.
You've only called once?
Only the one other time that you said I should call.
Oh, you called back.
Oh, you did? All right. I feel vindicated. What'd you say when you called back?
Just, I went into a little more detail about myself like you said I should.
What was the detail?
I said, just gave details like Howard and Ralph said I should.
What did you say, if you can recall?
Not really, because...
You know what you said.
That was Tuesday afternoon I did that. I can't...
And what's happened to you since then? So exciting.
Not much.
So much has happened that he can't remember what he said. What'd you say to her?
I just told her a little bit about myself and that...
What'd you say?
That, I'm a little person in a wheelchair and that if she wanted to know anything else about me, she could look on MySpace.
Boy, did you blow it.
Man, we told you not to mention MySpace.
That was everything I told you not to say. I told you to tell her that you represent a lot of voters, and you represent the midget vote, and that you've got over 4,000 people who are all going to be voting for her.
And Ralph said, don't mention the chair. Just say, oops, I dropped something. Let me roll over to it.
Right.
You dumb little fruit.
I was not going to say anything about I represent the midget vote because I don't, and I don't like...
Yeah, but I wanted you to lie. I'm trying to get you to get laid.
I'm also not going to, even though I uttered the word twice, now I'm not going to say a word that I don't like.
Which is?
Well, gee, you're going to goat me into saying it again. Thanks, Robin.
Goad.
You're going to goat me.
I'm goading you.
The M word?
The word midget.
Wow. Hey, Eric. What did you think was the worst moment? Was it Clay Aiken coming out?
What did you think was the worst moment? Was it Clay Aiken coming out with that?
I thought that was bad, but I also at the same time kind of cracked up at that whole thing. I thought it was pretty funny.
Did you like Clay Aiken's new hairstyle?
I thought it looked ridiculous.
Beth said to me he's covering his ears with his hair.
Yes. I mean, he never grew that hair out before, and he did look completely different. I said, look what they can do in Hollywood.
Yeah.
They can make this nerd look like he's a...
Yeah.
Now, did you guys notice something? I know you guys put your attention on crying, but did you also notice after the winner was announced, they panned into the crowd and Carrie Underwood had a look on her face like, oh man, the wrong person won.
Is that what that look meant?
Eric knows, Robin. Don't be a big... Eric's an expert on this show. Hey, Eric, do you ever, like, record the show and rewind it and watch it again?
No, not really. I'm trying to download all the episodes and watch them so I could maybe go back over and take better notes and stuff like that.
What are you going to do with those notes?
Publish your book. What do you think? There's money in them there hills. What do you mean download? You're going to download all the episodes and watch them like in one marathon session?
I'll try.
Yeah.
Because when the people do
sounds like a party.
They cut the commercials. So
I see. So you wouldn't have to have the commercials in there. Save you some time.
God. Jeez, that sounds...
What notes are you writing down? What do your notes say?
Detailed notes. Well, what I was kind of hoping to do if I get the chance, like last year, to meet the idols, maybe go there with the notes and, show them, how much big of a fan I am by giving them the notes.
Oh, gee.
Number 1, give notes to fans. Number 2, send dead squirrel to Clay Aiken.
You mean, what you're implying is you want to meet the idols, take all of your notes, and hand it to the idols?
Yeah.
Copies of your notes.
Right.
You mean their individual notes or notes on the whole show?
Notes on the whole show.
I see. You would just compile one set of notes.
And what incredibly insane thought goes through your brain when you come up with that idea? I mean, do you think, what do you think would happen if you handed them your notes? That they would sit and read it?
You think, like, Catherine McPhee's going to sit and read this?
Well, they got downtime when they're going from city to city.
Yeah.
And rather than the Da Vinci Code, let me grab Eric.
Thank you for listening. For more great content, subscribe to Battle Chats on YouTube.
Why don't you use your computer and build an invincible mini plane so you can fly around in it and visit the idols?
No.
No.
There's no better way to Saturday afternoon in Appleton, Wisconsin than reading one of your notes, Eric.
How long is each note on each person? Like, do you go pages?
No.
Was it like a paragraph?
No, it's just about, a line per contestant.
Yeah, like, give us a line. What would a line be?
I don't know offhand. It's
like, what would you write about Catherine McPhee?
Like last night, what did you write about Catherine?
Actually, I didn't take any notes at all last night.
Why?
Who's enjoying the show?
Well, for one thing, I got information ahead of time of who won.
How did you do that?
Well, because...
Oh, you're on the West Coast.
Well, no, what happened was I went and looked at my mail on MySpace, and everybody from the East Coast emailed me telling me who won.
Right, that's what I was saying. You're from the West Coast.
Yeah.
If I was you, every week I would take notes, and then I wouldn't have to go back and watch the whole thing and take notes. I'd get it over with.
Yeah.
Well, he has, only he wants more detailed notes.
Is it hard taking notes while you're...
Artie, is it?
Well, Eric, I know last night was a big trauma to you. I know you voted for McPhee over 360 times, you said?
30.
330 times.
Let me ask you something, Eric. When will you make the call to tell her how sorry you are?
Well, I'll go with what Gary said, and I'll wait till next week.
Oh.
Good. All right, smart man.
FBI time to track you.
It's a big knock on the door. Okay. Well, what happens for the next 6 months? Do you go into a deep freeze?
No.
What will you do with yourself?
What do you turn your attentions to now?
The Oakland A's.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch A's and Giants games, but next week, last standing starts.
Oh, Last Comic Standing. You're into that.
I'll also be watching...
All right, Eric, it's a big upset for you. I know you are pulling for Katharine McPhee. Let's hope that...
You still got the McFever?
Yeah.
I bet
Me
you
too.
do.
Wouldn't you like to bury your midget head between those big boobs?
Those boobs did look good last night.
They sure did, pal.
Now you're talking like a man.
Now we're talking.
Finally.
Boy, that young stuff, man. Let me tell you, Eric, when you go in on a young girl like that, it's very tight. Very tight.
Even for Eric?
You know what I mean, or you don't know what I mean?
I disagree with you on two things, though.
All right.
One, she doesn't need to drop a single ounce, let alone a pound.
Oh, bro, you're just way off on that.
Neither does...
Taylor.
No.
Mandisa.
He's cute. Mandisa was in stretch pants last night.
Oh, my God.
Who's dressing her?
Carrie Underwood doesn't need to drop
No, not at all. She
Not
dropped
anymore.
it. She listened to me and dropped away.
She never did to me.
Oh, no, she had a big... She looks great now.
Well, she was sitting.
How'd you like to nail that tail?
I'd go out with either one of them.
You could fall in love with one of those, huh?
He already has.
By the way, this summer, my family will take me to the house by the lake and glue me to the ceiling so I can be a human smoke detector.
I like to ride on the fan on the top of the ceiling.
What was Katharine McPhee's biggest mistake, do you feel?
I don't know, really.
Getting you to like her. I hope Last Comic Standing's good, because the Giants and A's both dude.
Whatever.
What was McPhee's biggest mistake?
I don't know, really. I liked her song actually better than Taylor's.
Yeah, but wasn't it during the whole contest song selection?
I would love if they made Eric a judge on American Idol. I would watch 5 times in a
He
row.
could take Paula's spot.
Oh, yeah.
He should take Randy's spot. Our judge, Eric the Midget.
I don't know.
Eric the Judge.
People say that Simon gives really critical comments. I don't know, he might have run for the money if I was a judge on that, too.
I've never heard you be critical.
Oh, I'm watching the first couple of weeks when they're going through all the auditions and there's the really awful people, I'm always thinking of what I would have said if I was at that judge table.
You're kidding. I don't think anybody does that. Well, there you go.
Give us an example of your most scathing critique.
By the way, Eric, this is sad. Eric would have voted more, but his cell phone...
Oh, is that true?
Yeah, and you have to charge your cell phone before American Idol. Isn't that a lesson you've learned?
Well, it was almost fully charged by the time I started.
Wow.
Couldn't you just plug it in and keep going?
I did, eventually.
But I lost valuable voting time. At least 10 minutes. It could have cost McPhee the entire title.
Now, are you guys still going to have her in?
You know how off you were, Eric? We just got the results. Katharine McPhee had 332 votes.
Right.
Wow. Some guy called us and said your vote only counts once.
Oh.
They could trace it or something.
Didn't your news department find that out wasn't true?
Yeah, I don't think it is true. I think American Idol really gets off on how many votes they get, and they're happy with every vote.
That's right. They don't care how many times you vote.
I heard the news department called Fox, and they said that, no, that guy wasn't right.
All right.
Look, just keep voting, Eric.
Yeah,
whether it counts or not.
Yeah, just keep going. Gives you something to do.
Are you guys going to have McPhee in next week?
We're going to try. Did you vote in the presidential election?
Yeah, I voted.
How many times?
Gee, Robin, you can only do that once.
Duh.
Who'd you vote for?
Carrie.
I see. You got a pattern.
Carrie Underwood?
You're a mush.
In the presidential election, you voted for Carrie Underwood?
John Carrie Underwood.
With Democrat.
I know. John Kerry. I'm
we
just kidding.
know.
Yeah, John Kerry Underwood.
Please, between Bush and Arnold Schwarzenegger, there's no way I'm going back to being a Republican.
Yeah.
Ooh, who knew?
Big loss for the grand old party.
All right, Eric. Well, thank you, and I'm sorry about the McPhee upset last night. I knew we wanted to check in with you, and certainly a lot of controversy there. Thank you.
Say hi to the Dixie Chicks. The new song that they got out, I think, is pretty good.
All right, thank you. Did you cry last night when McPhee lost?
No.
No. All right.
No,
Thank you.
I didn't turn David.
Will you be going to the Idol concert?
Yeah.
Of course.
Probably going to go over to Arco Arena box office in the next couple of days and get the tickets. That way you don't have to pay all those extra charges.
I see.
All right, thanks. All right, Eric. Thank you.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.
Bye for now. New catchphrase, Eric's.
I stole that from Tigger in the Winnie of the Pooh books.
Did you remember when he wasn't going to call in anymore? Now he's back.
Oh, yeah, calling every day.
He was trying to play hardball with us, where he would not call in unless we dropped making fun of him and making fun of his voice and stopped calling him Eric the Midget.
Or making him a member of the Whack Pack.
Right.
He really doesn't like that.
And it didn't work out for him. His negotiations fell apart.
He didn't get one demand and he's back.
Oh, I got to just talk to Eric the Midget real quick. So tell me what happened. Yesterday you measured your for us on the air, and in exchange for measuring your I gave you Catherine McPhee's cell phone number.
Thank you for listening. For more great content, subscribe to Battle Chats on YouTube.
Right.
And did you end up using that number?
Yes, I called one time and I left a brief, nice message and did not mention you once.
Tell me what the message was.
I just said that, that I'm a fan of the show and a fan of hers, and last year I got the chance to meet Carrie Underwood when the Idols went on tour, and I was hoping this year when the Idols go on tour again to be able to meet her and the other Idols.
Did you throw in the fact that you're handicapped and you're a midget and you're in a wheelchair?
Actually, no, I did not.
Yeah, well, that's what you should have done.
But I did give my phone number at the end of the message.
Yeah.
So he left a message.
All right, so you're not going to stalk her with the number?
No.
All right, good. Was it worth measuring your...
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally he wouldn't do something like that, but this was too good. He had to have that phone number.
And he jumped, too.
Yeah. I knew I had the right gift.
Yeah.
To get that. A lot of people didn't believe that Eric's got 5 inches in his pants. They think he lied because they were like, well, how was he aroused? But
What do you mean, how is he aroused?
Well, like he called us, like, is he really going to hold on to a boner and measure?
I don't know, but I believe Eric.
Eric, when you measured your boner, did you measure it first, like without us on the phone, so that you could get a good measurement?
Exactly.
Yeah, all right. That's what I wanted to explain.
The nail on the head.
And you swear to God that you really are 5 inches. That was an accurate measurement.
Yeah, what I do is I put it against myself and then put my thumb right where the tip, was, and then pulled the ruler away with my thumb in place, and it was right near the 5-inch mark.
Right.
Now, you didn't hurt yourself pressing the ruler down, did you?
No.
Okay.
Did you measure with the ruler on top of your or underneath?
Underneath.
Underneath. That's how I measure.
That's how you have to measure. Every guy's going underneath.
So and you did not measure from your balls. You measured from the beginning of the shaft, the base.
Right.
All right. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. 5 inches. Man. That's impressive.
Read and weep.
How tall are you, Eric?
3'5".
Yeah. He's 3'5".
Wow.
So, I mean, next time I get another Idol's phone number, I'm going to have you measure circumference.
Oh, great.
Are you circumcised?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I mean, that's a big, sort of percentage of his total height, 5 inches.
Hello, Miss McPhee. This is Eric, your fan. I control a huge voting block of votes here in the California area. And my legions could put you over the top.
Hand over $1 million.
I am in league with the Maloof brothers. I have their cell phone number.
I bet she changes her number now.
I also know Daphne Zanuga.
Hey, Eric, you know if you don't hear back from her by today, if that little phone number is going to burn a hole in your little hand.
You're going to have to call again.
Yeah, I know you. You're going to end up calling again.
The only thing, if and when she does win, I'll probably give her a congratulations call. That's probably about it.
You think that's right?
If she loses, Eric, will you give her, sort of a sympathy call, though, too?
I still love you.
Eric, I'm going to ask you a favor. Could you not call her till at least next week? Because I spoke to her, or we exchanged voicemails, and she doesn't think Fox would want her on, for the finale. But if she wins, she's going to come on the show, and I just don't want you screwing that up for us. So I'm going to call her the day after she wins, and you leave her alone.
Okay, no problem.
All right. Eric's a man of his word. We don't want you screwing that up for us.
I'll do that, Gary, for $1 million.
What was actually the rest of the message?
What?
What was the rest of the message that you guys had?
Hey, Gary, what was the rest of Catherine McPhee's message?
He wants to finish
Please
whacking
don't give my number to Eric.
Whatever you do, don't give that phone number to Eric the Midget. Yes, Ralph.
Eric, you blew it, man. Why didn't you mention you vote 8,000 times in one night?
Because I don't. The most I've voted is 400 or more.
Do you see the percentage last week? That could put it over the top, man. You got to sell yourself a little bit.
Eric, did you vote 400 times?
Season 3.
How many times did you vote last week, and who'd you vote for?
I voted only for Catherine, and I really didn't keep track of how many times.
But what do? You get the number and you just sit there and you redial over and over?
Yeah.
Dude, how many times did you vote, you think? Did you, just do that for 2 hours?
Yeah, I voted for the full 2 hours.
Wow. Is it?
You got to mention that to her.
Yeah, you should have. Maybe you need to call her.
Call her back.
Call her back.
I forgot to mention.
I have my own block of votes.
I mean, she didn't even know that you voted for her over 400 times. I mean.
So as soon as they say the voting is open, you've got the number dialed in, you start.
See, Eric, what I'm thinking is if you make that clear to her, she's going to be afraid not to call you back because she doesn't want to lose your vote.
Yeah, before the actual contest.
Yeah, tell her she's got to call you back, tonight,
Or I won't vote for you.
I hold all the cards.
The one thing I was thinking is, hopefully for you, though, she doesn't have anyone that she knows that listens to your show and heard you give me her number.
Yeah, we're on satellite. Nobody knows what we're doing.
Yeah. Hey, Eric, also, somehow you got to work in that you're a midget and you're in a wheelchair,
I told him that.
Listen, if you want my votes, you must call now.
Eric, don't say you're in a wheelchair. Just kind of say something like, oh, I dropped something. I have to wheel over and pick it up, Be casual about it.
You should tell her you're an idol maker or an idol breaker, and depending on her actions.
I'm a power broker.
I meant to actually say in the message that, or give my MySpace page address to her, but I gotten after I hung up on
Yeah, that'll turn her on. Because that MySpace page is pretty groovy.
Yeah, there's so many great guys on MySpace.
Yeah, but like what's your profile on there?
the address to the profile.
No, I mean, what's your, like, what does it say? Don't you have to write something about yourself?
Yeah.
What's it say on there?
It just, you know, talks about my disability and, you know, stuff like that. And
that's fun.
And also, you know, the different music that I listen to. And
fascinating.
But the reason why I wanted to give her the address to it was so she could look through the pictures and see the pictures of myself meeting Carrie and also the different cast members of American Dreams and stuff like that.
Nah, dude, you're not going to get her with that. She's going to think you're creepy. You got to tell her you're with the ETM agency. She doesn't know that stands for Eric the Midget.
ETM Enterprises.
ETM Enterprises.
Don't get on MySpace. You get to sound like a stalker.
Right. You want to sound like a cool guy. Like, cool guys don't have MySpace accounts. You know what I mean? Like, you've got so much going on, you don't have time for a MySpace account.
You know, Eric, you should have somebody call her back for you and say they're your assistant.
Nah, I think at this point he's got to just let the one message lie there, and otherwise it'll look creepy.
Yeah, but you know, he's got to call back today because he can vote her in. I mean, today he's got power. Tomorrow, you know, he's got nothing.
You must have loved having her number, though, right? Have you called it a bunch of times just to hear her answering message and listen to her voice?
No, I just called it the one time.
Right. All right. There it is, Eric the Midget. There's an update on his phone number and his access to Catherine McPhee.
Will he be calling back to plead his case again?
Thank you for listening. For more great content, subscribe to Battle Chats on YouTube.
Yes.
If he got it wrong the first time?
What do you mean, call the show back?
Like, I just know this guy's going to start jonesing if he doesn't hear from Catherine McPhee today. I know he's going to make another call.
Well, but Ralph makes a good case. He didn't present himself properly.
Did you get nervous?
Yeah, a little.
The bed. One shot at greatness.
Do you want me to give out your MySpace address?
Yeah, I guess you could do that.
All right. MySpace.com/Eric the Actor Lynch. L-Y-N-C-H.
How do you spell?
L-Y-N-C-H.
Ralph, did you already mail that letter to me?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
You're writing to him?
Yeah, I wrote him a fan letter. There were these American Idol things that came in, and I sent them to him.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Eric, and keep us updated if you get a call back from Catherine McPhee.
Don't wait, man. Call her back. Call her one more time. Wait a few hours and then call her.
Good luck tonight.
You want Ralph to tell you what you should say again, or you know what to do?
How about you give me a little tip?
All right. Here's the pointers. You ready?
Your bullet points.
Number one, you didn't make it clear in your first message that you control a lot of the votes. I mean, you voted over 400 times for Carrie Underwood, and you've been voting heavily for her all along. And, you know, it would be nice to be recognized for all this hard work you're putting in.
Oh, in fact, you could say something like, when they say that the voting is open, do you want me to vote for Taylor or do you want me to vote for you?
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Say, you know, if you call me, you can be assured I'll be voting my little hands off.
Do you think you should say something like he knows he also has a network of a bunch of other losers?
Yeah.
Who will vote
They all do what he says.
Just say the midget community completely controls that vote. You say you're the leader of the midget community, and you probably are in touch with a network of over 3,000 midgets who all vote.
500 times each.
500 times each. You do the math.
I control the tiny empire.
That chick will be pants. She'll call you right back.
She'll be right on the phone. Forget rehearsing. Let me get on the phone with Eric.
It's all down to this personality contest.
Yesterday, you guys commented at how nice I was on the phone with you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would be that way every single solitary call if you would just, you know, accept my 3 requests.
I'm not accepting any of your requests.
We don't care whether you're nice or not.
Eric, what are the requests?
To drop the 2 nicknames I can't stand.
Which 2 are those? I forget.
Eric the Midget and Eric the Astronaut.
All right.
We've dropped Eric the Astronaut.
Yeah, we like Eric the Midget. All right, so there's half a request.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your second request?
Stop making fun of the voice.
That's not going to happen.
Can I do it at home?
In the words of Vito Corleone, that I cannot do.
Eric, is it okay if you just, like, do it on the phone to each other?
I mean, I call Ralph, and sometimes my whole message is just like this. I go...
So is it okay if they do it just to each other on the phone?
Yeah, just...
That'd be all right. He can't hear that.
What's the third one?
And, stop poking fun at me.
Well, that's
I
like
thought
the
you
second.
didn't want to be a member of the Whack Pack.
Oh, that's...
Oh, now you got 4. Jesus.
First of all, you got to be in the Whack Pack. You've got a funny voice. You don't know why you're funny. I mean, you fit all the criteria. You look kind of, different.
When you look up Whack Pack, they have a picture of you.
Right.
Yeah, but question is this. Okay, the guy Steve that was with Tabitha there one time, he's even more disabled than I am, but he's not a Whack Pack.
Yeah, because he's not funny.
No, he doesn't have a funny voice and he doesn't have that attitude that you have.
There's nothing fun about him.
Eric the Midget, we speak your name. We speak
You are
your name.
a legend. We speak your name.
And the youngin' spoke. There wasn't a dry eye in the house.
But Eric, is that okay?
Hey, what about Eric not for Stevens? I got a lot of email about that. Some people respect Eric for not Stevens. I don't get it. I mean, this is a guy who's never going to get laid in his life.
Like, I want to follow Jeff the Drunk.
Well,
No.
Jeff the Drunk apparently couldn't do anything, so
Yeah.
you're not.
Didn't lube up.
What happened there, Jeff?
She didn't lube up. I was ready.
Joke. That joke was gold.
Yeah.
But no, he loved it. He was, and he's been in here. He's the most vicious. He can just slaughter you.
Oh, my God. Funny story. I thought he was terrific. I heard some comedy tape of him.
Amazing.
So I invited him on the show. He came on a couple of times, I think. I think I have this right. I'm not sure I even remember. So at one point I said to Gary, gee, we haven't seen Patrice O'Neill in a while. He said, oh, he's not doing the show anymore. He's mad at you. I said, what did I do? I don't even know him that well.
You had a falling out. You
Yeah, we had a falling out. And he said, you were on the air one time. You couldn't think of his name. And you said to Robin, he's a heavy set or a fat black guy. I can't think of his name, the comedian we have on. So Robin said, oh, Patrice O'Neill. And he got angry with me that I didn't remember his name.
Oh, really? Because he still talks to me. I saw him outside.
Did you?
Not too long ago. And I said, hey, Patrice. And he was like, hey, Robin, how you doing?
Really? Oh, well.
But I hadn't seen him in here, and I did wonder why we hadn't had him in.
He's sensitive. He's a sensitive man. He holds a grudge.
I said to Gary, I said, oh, that's such a shame. I said, I don't
he was
know
always
him.
Funny.
Yeah, he's great.
His name was not on the tip of my tongue that day, but I was trying to describe to Robin who I was talking about.
Yeah.
But anyway.
He should understand that sometimes I have to remind Howard of my name.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, who are you?
You were great on the roast, Robin.
Oh, thank you.
Did you have fun doing that?
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, right?
A lot of fun.
But it's tough. It's like all your worst nightmares as a child in school coming true.
Was that the first roast you ever did for Comedy Central?
Yeah, I found out 2 weeks before that I was doing it.
So are you the hot girl who now gets the Whitney?
Are you going to
Thank
take
you.
the Whitney slot?
Do you get the
I'll
Whitney?
take that slot for sure.
You'll
I'll
take
take
Whitney's
Lampanelli's slot. I'll take whoever's. Yeah, I bet she has a nice slot.
So would you say that your career is struggling? Like it's a tough career because now
are you making it? What is going on?
I'm here.
Where are we at? You're
I'm
here. Now you
this
were
looks
on
like Vegas.
You were. It does, doesn't it? It's a really tacky set. You were, but don't say that because the guys are very proud of it.
No, it looks
brand new.
amazing. This is a dream come true.
I always say to any of the comedians, were there jokes that you were going to do at the Charlie Sheen roast that got cut?
Yes.
There were.
There were.
Would you share those with us?
Yes, I will. I'll share
Okay.
some. Let's see. and I don't remember why these were cut. Some of them, like Harvey Levin, backed out at the last second. He was supposed to do it.
TMZ guy.
TMZ guy.
Okay.
Yeah. And did you know he's gay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
We've
know
had
that
him
until
on.
I was. Oh, okay.
Okay.
He just talked about cock nonstop, and
Yeah.
you were like, oh, wait a minute.
It dawned on me.
The whole time.
It actually dawned on me that he was gay when he talked about cock for 20
Is that
minutes.
what led you to believe that?
That's right.
I said, Harvey, you are one tiny little queer. The only box you'll ever come close to are the three you stand on to see over the cubicles. Said, you've done more fudge packing than a Keebler elf who loves anal. I said, Harvey, you bottom-feeding, despicable Jew. And I could say that
'Cause you're
because
Jewish.
I'm honest.
Right.
You make your entire race go from saying never again to, well, just this once.
You should have been there.
I know. He backed out. I was so bummed.
That
I
would've
was
been
going to
so
go after
good.
him.
Yeah. Now, do you write these yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, that's hard, huh? To
It
sit in a
is.
what is the process of coming up with roast jokes? What is the inspiration? Like, what do you do? You do you sit yourself down in a room
Yeah.
and go, I am going to think about Harvey Levin. About
what's the meanest, worst thing? What do I think his deepest insecurity is?
Right.
Or just like my fat jokes about Shatner. I had originally written those for John Lovitz, but Lovitz looked pretty good, so I was like, I just kind of
switch 'em.
transferred them to Shatner. And then I found out while we were sitting there that he's like in his 80s.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I'm calling this 80-year-old guy fat.
But made
like,
it even
give him
funnier.
a break. But he was a good sport.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But they cut
Do
out
you
my
feel-
Jeff Ross ones.
Do you feel bad about making fun of people at all? Does it get?
If I thought I really hurt someone's feelings, I would feel like shit.
Do you come up with really mean jokes that are so bad that you go, I cannot say this on a roast?
Yeah.
But that's the process. You've got to let everything fly.
Yeah.
And then you kind of tone it
which
down.
is weird because that Steve-O joke, I did not think that was going to be anything. You know, I didn't go into this roast like, I don't care who I hurt. I want to see my name in lights. I just wanted to do a good job and write jokes that I was proud
The
of.
other one I thought that was really was the, those two women whose lives
Your
you ruined,
daughters?
your daughter.
Yeah,
that was good.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a real good one.
I thought that was one that would have gotten more flack. But
How long
you never
does
know.
it take you? Like you get basically like 2 or 3 minutes on those roasts.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to come up with your roast material, your A game for a roast?
Well, it's 6 minutes. We each get
Okay.
like between 6 and 8 minutes, except Jeff Ross gets like an hour.
Right, because he's so good at
Yeah,
it.
he's the best.
Right.
He's the best. Well, Geraldo was the best.
Yeah.
Greg Giraldo was great.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So I think I found out that I might maybe do it like a month before. So I just started writing, and going around trying my set out. When I found out I was definitely doing it 2 weeks before, I went to every club and tried out the jokes.
Every joke, right.
And
Yeah,
Charlie
which is
Sheen is pretty easy. I mean, that was...
that's a lot to work with, and you don't feel bad doing it
Yeah.
because his life is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's like not that much sadness to him, and I was glad he had us all over at his house the night before.
Oh, really?
At his manager's house, and he was just so cool. He just, I think, wanted to look us in the eye and make
Right.
sure we weren't like, we're gonna get you.
That's kind of weird. I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know
like,
that.
What a preemptive strike.
It was, well, I thought it was a great idea. It's just because
But does that make you eliminate some of the jokes that the fact that you were at his
Yeah,
home?
when Lovitz wasn't really fat, I eliminated those jokes.
No, but I mean, did it make you eliminate any of your Charlie Sheen material because
No.
you were meeting him?
Oh no, not at all.
I would think maybe that would ruin it ahead of time. If I was Comedy Central, I'd be like, no one's getting together the night before.
No, they liked it. I think they're going to make it a tradition.
I see.
Because it's like, the way I felt about it was like, we're all kind of we're all doing this show together. We're all making this show together.
What do you mean they decided to call you like a month in advance and say maybe you'll be on?
Well, they shoot for the stars. Like, I think they put an offer out. They put out offers to, like, Johnny Depp. You
Right.
know, they hope someone's going through a bad phase. Like, they'll
But
just
is
catch
Jo-
someone having a meltdown.
But is Johnny Depp really the right guy to have to one of those roles? You got to be really
He's
professional.
hilarious. No, I'm just kidding.
yeah.
I'm just
Johnny Depp, I mean, would be a disaster. Although people are excited to see Johnny Depp,
People
the movie
love
star.
famous people.
Yeah, but I mean, you need a couple of views.
You need comedian, like comics
Yeah.
do the best on there, no question. They
That's right.
sweeten everybody else's set after the fact, but the comics I think always do the best.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, my favorite part of the whole process was running around getting ready.
So what did
You
they
know?
cut of you? What did you say about Jeffrey Ross that they cut
Oh,
out.
they cut out all my Jeff Ross jokes.
Really?
Yeah. I to intro to him, I was like, Jeff Ross is gross. I was like, but I mean, I could see a girl hooking up with you, Jeff. I would sit on your face just so I wouldn't have to look at it.
That's good. Why did they cut that?
I don't know. I think just for time. They like to see the stars. Like, I
Right.
mean, and he's a star, but he's not
Right.
Sheen. Kate Walsh she's had such a full life, but no one to share it with. She really proves that no amount of money in the world can fill the hole that her uncle used to. They said no.
Oh.
They're like, no. I'm like, okay.
I don't know. I would have liked her. For
Right?
that.
Why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
She was cool. She's so cool. She
Does
would
it-
have been fine with it.
Does it kill you inside when you've crafted these jokes, you went to comedy clubs, and then they go, ooh,
And they stay on that piece of paper.
You mean the audience or
Yeah.
Comedy
No,
Central?
does it kill you that like you spent all this time working on a joke and then suddenly Comedy Central says at the last minute, ooh, no, no one's ever going to hear it?
Yeah, it hurts.
does, right?
It's like a loss. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
because
sucks.
I mean, you can't wait almost to deliver that joke.
Yeah, there's so many changes last minute that I was like, oh, it's going to be like this. Like I was supposed to go up earlier, and then they're like, you're going almost at the end. So it's all these things, and you're just like, oh, and they don't care about. They care about the celebrities. I didn't even get like my makeup touched up. Nobody told me the red carpet had started. I was like, anyone want my picture? And they were like, no thanks. No one knows you.
Do you have these jokes memorized in a sense because you've worked so long on them?
Well, I only worked for 2 weeks on them, really. So a little bit, like I'd said them a bunch, but they're not on the tip of my tongue like my act would be.
Is it your biggest fear that you'll craft a joke for the roast and then you're delivering it and then you stumble like over a word and then all of a sudden, like Sarah Silverman told me that's her biggest fear.
My biggest fear is rape.
Rape. Next to rape.
Then, right after rape, a close second is no, not at all. I don't know. I don't think so.
Would your biggest fear be getting raped at the roast?
Yeah, getting raped on
and
TV.
stumbling over your line.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my God.
Speaking of rape.
Yeah.
So the one taboo thing they said to you, you can go do the Charlie Sheen roast, do whatever you want. But Mike Tyson, you can't mention
talk about the rapings.
You can't talk about rapings.
Yeah, but we like sort of skirted around that because once they realized, because it wasn't the network that said no rape, it was like I think Tyson's wife, or they were like, hey, can we just sweep that rape under the rug?
Yeah.
And we were all like, yeah, of course, we wouldn't bring that up. But one of my jokes, I just said, when you speak, you sound like a girl crying. Do you give yourself an erection? But he was like,
he didn't even
sometimes,
understand that.
Yeah, it was that felt bad. That felt like
Yeah.
like making fun of someone who was just like, what?
Why
But
didn't
you know,
say
the whole time he was saying, hey, are we going to take this? I was like, oh, that brings up the rape to me.
I know. He's like, when should I start raping this girl? Shatner's like, I don't know.
Why didn't you say to Mike Tyson, I know you said no to the rape jokes, but since when does no mean no?
No means yes, Mike.
Yeah,
yeah.
you know that.
I wrote some good rape stuff that I had to cut. Losing the rape hurt. That really hurt.
That was a good
That
minute.
was a rape.
Yeah, you got raped
I
by
got raped,
the rape joke.
yeah.
So when you do these Comedy Central roasts, that brings you, like, I had never really heard of you. And
Yeah.
you were on Last Comic Standing,
Right.
and you came in 4th place.
Yeah.
And yet I never watched that show.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I didn't care about. I can't even believe it's still. Is it still on the
I
air?
don't know.
You don't even know.
Sometimes they
I'd
bring
never
it back
seen it
and
before I
sometimes
did
they
it.
don't. I don't think it was on this
it has
summer.
launched. No one.
Right. You know how American Idol had Kelly Clarkson? There is no one that got famous off that show?
No, not at all. Which was a great thing. I'd been doing stand-up 3 years. I was like, who's from out of town? Like doing soft shoe, and luckily no one saw it. So I got to then, for a year after Last Comic, I went around and I headlined because, enough people watched it that you're a draw on the road. I really just got away with it. I'm surprised no one got their money back. And then I went back to opening for Attell and Norton and featuring and going on the road, and now I'm a headliner again.
Yeah, right. Did you always feel that you wanted to be a stand-up comic? Was this something like was a burning desire?
No, I'm looking to get out. I'm thinking about going to dental school.
You want that sitcom?
I don't know if I want that. I want to do work I'm proud of, like everybody,
Right.
But I love stand-up.
Where'd you grow up?
Rockville Center.
Oh,
yeah, I know.
A horrible place.
It is a horrible place.
I hated it.
I did not fit
A lot
in.
of funny people come out of Rockville Center.
That's true. Attell's from there also.
I always tell Robin, I thought it was very anti-Semitic. They have the
Yes.
archdiocese there.
Yes. They called me, instead of Amy Schumer, they called me Amy Jumer.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious. And one day, it was like this summer day, and I was walking past this bodega, and That's a deli for...
We don't know that. Yeah, right.
I did Rosetta Stone.
Right.
And these kids they're like start throwing pennies at me. And I didn't even know that was like I was confused because they looked really mad, but I was like, this is awesome. You know?
Hey, free money.
Well seen in Goonies.
Hey, they like me. They really like me.
Yeah, no, I dealt with total anti-Semitism in Rockville Center. They have that golf club and beach clubs where they're like, I'd have to change my last name so they didn't know I was Jewish. It's like the real deal.
So how do you end up in stand-up comedy if you didn't fantasize about it?
I was a problem child. Teacher's worst nightmare and class clown were like my little awards.
Oh, really? Were you really a bad kid?
Yeah, I had Saturday detention every single week.
Really?
Yeah, like Breakfast Club, Saturday
What would you
detention.
do in school that was so bad?
I was a huge wise ass. I would say the funniest thing I could think of. Like I just liked making myself laugh and making people uncomfortable.
Right.
I would always and I never saw the teachers as like these untouchable authorities.
Wow.
I'd be like, listen, Gil, I'm really bloated today. You know, I
can't be in your gym class.
Yeah, I was like, I know that you go home and you black out and you call hookers. Like, do I have to pretend because you're wearing a suit that I should respect? I just couldn't.
Wow, so you were disrespectful. Did you go to college?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, no, I wasn't disrespectful to the teachers that like treated you like a human being.
Right.
But, you know, the people who like just have, you know, personality disorders who take it out on kids. I like justice, you know?
Are men really intimidated by you because
That's
you're...
what I tell myself.
No, seriously. Are they? Do you have a boyfriend?
No. I'm
you
single.
don't? You broke up recently?
Yep.
Were you dating the guy who was on the roast with you?
Yeah, we were together for 2 years.
Which guy? Oh, that guy?
Anthony, yeah. He's great.
The guy whose name you didn't know.
Yeah,
Right.
like Vandersloot. Well, he has a rapey quality about him. I think that's why I was attracted to him. I always like guys that look like they could play.
Is it weird to date another? Is it weird to date another comedian?
It wasn't weird. No, we were never competitive. Luckily, we were both doing pretty well.
Right. Who's a better comedian, you or him?
Oh, me.
Right.
Come on, let's be
Clearly.
honest.
You're not going to date somebody better than you.
No, he's a great comic. He really is. Yeah, I would love to be like, he's never going to make it, but I think he's going to.
So why'd you break up with him? Seemed like a happy couple, right?
We were good. It was just, we wanted way different things. I would have loved for us to have stayed together.
What'd you want, marriage and everything?
No.
What different things do you want?
I already have a ring. The Nuva ring. What was it? It was just, you know, we're both on the road so much, and I was like down to try and make it work, and he like wasn't able to give as much as I needed, I guess.
Like what did you need?
A text message once in a while.
Like once a week at least?
Acknowledge me when you're not here.
Well, yeah, no. By the end, it was like I'd be like, can you text me after shows because we're both alone in hotel rooms and miserable. And it was like a parody of a guy like on a sitcom. Like he was like, you're suffocating me, and I was like, what? Am I a waitress you banged in Fresno?
Hey, don't I know you?
Yeah. So like you know. He's
he
young.
wasn't for that.
No, but I'm excited. I'm
How old are
excited to
you?
be single. 30.
30, and how old's he?
33, 32.
Yeah, do you think he was banging other chicks on the side, maybe?
Not that I know of.
Right.
I don't think so. Like but I've seen girls girls want him. You know, they throw them in front of me.
But when a guy doesn't text you, like he's on the road, you're on the road, and he doesn't text you for like 2 days.
Right. You know, I wasn't even worried about that.
Wow.
Seriously, that's not why because it doesn't matter. I was like, I wasn't like, go cheat on me. I wasn't like, Demi Moore. I was like, you know, I hope you don't cheat on me. If you do, I hope I never know about it. And don't like catch any new disease.
Right. Be
let's just
safe.
keep the ones we have already.
Right.
Let's harness those. But yeah, I don't think so. He's not. I thought he would be the type to be like that, but he like gets too drunk. I think that's what it is. I'm like, no, he won't be able to do anything anyway.
I mean,
but
you
I wasn't
clearly-
worried about that. I just wanted a friend, like my best friend, to be like, yeah, the MC sucks, and just talk.
You clearly are a funny person. Did
Thanks.
it kill you inside when you don't win America's funniest comedian?
No, I couldn't believe I was on there. I mean, 3 years, under 3 years I've been doing it, and the other guys had all been doing it 15, 20 years, and I'm just like every step of the way my like sort of reality character on that show was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Who won that year?
John Reap.
John Rape?
John Rape. John Sodomy?
John Rape.
Know him?
Who is this? John who?
Yeah,
John
he's like kind of a blue-collar kind of guy.
I see.
Yeah.
So he won, and you didn't feel, oh, I'm not a funny person, I'm giving up the business.
No, I got fourth. I was like, oh my God, this is it. I broke up with my boyfriend at the time. I was like, I'm going on the road.
What were you doing before?
Sorting mail and bartending.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you, so now you're single. How long have you been single?
3 weeks.
You date anyone yet?
No.
Have you fucked anyone new?
No. We broke up one time, about a year and a half ago, and I was like, all right, like, maybe I'm still like I was in college. Somebody needs this.
Right.
And I went out, and I was like, and I met a guy.
Where'd you meet him? At a bar?
At a bar.
Right.
I met a guy, and I didn't, like, I just thought he was really hot. I was wasted. That night, I was like, oh my God, he looks like the Twilight guy, like Robert Pattinson.
Oh,
you know?
that's a handsome guy.
In the morning, I'm like, you look like fucking Governor Patterson. Like, he is not cute in the morning. And I'd never dealt with an uncircumcised penis before.
Oh, he was uncircumcised.
He was uncircumcised. And
what was he, European?
He was French.
Ah,
I didn't even
French.
know he was French. I thought we were both just like faking the accent, you know? But like, I really realized like that men don't warn you. They just like roll it out, you know?
Yeah.
And so I had to become an award-winning actress. I'm like, oh no, that's totally cool. I'm like, Mom, can you come pick me up?
I got into something here.
Because men don't ever like tell you what you're about to deal with, you know?
never saw an uncircumcised penis in your... I don't
No.
think I've ever seen one, except for Sal. Who whips
I've
it
never
out
even
every
seen
minute.
them in porn. Like I was like, what is that? Are we having a pillow fight? Like, why is the gnome
Something's
from
wrong with
Travelocity
you.
in your underpants?
Yeah.
Like,
Was it
I was
gross?
thrown.
Did it smell or something?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
It did.
It was gross.
So did you blow him?
No.
No. So what did you like start giving him a hand job kind of thing?
I tried, but it was like an ice cream cone had melted in my hand. I felt like a magician with the scarves, just pulling. I was just like, get me out of here, you know?
Right.
But he was like, the French guys are different. Like he didn't expect anything. He like couldn't believe that this was happening, and he was really sensual, and he started to pick me up. You know, like when we're kissing, and then I think he realized that he was in over his head. I kind of got planted back down. I'm like trying to feel sexy, and he's like winded from trying to hoist me. But we were like, he gave up like immediately because he's French.
Right.
And
we know how they are.
You know how that goes.
Right.
But I left in the middle. I
Oh,
really did.
really?
Yeah, but it wasn't because of like I was like, all right, like your penis is making me ill, the thought of it, but like this little gnome, but it was.
Was it
we
a big
stopped.
penis?
It was fine. It was totally acceptable.
And so you pulled back and you saw like there was a whole different vibe
I
to
threw
it.
the skin over my shoulder
Right.
like a team player.
And so then he put it inside of you.
He put on a condom. He
Yeah.
put it inside me, and then we had to stop after like a second.
Why?
Because something was wrong with the condom, and he was fixing it, and I was looking at him, and he was like, "Well, don't look at me." But he was like, "Well, don't," and I was like, "Ew," and I was like, "You know what? I'm sad all of a sudden. I miss my boyfriend. I'm gonna leave," which you can do as a girl.
Yeah.
Like if a guy's like, "You know what?" You're like,
I mean, that's so. Do you ever feel as a girl like sometimes you have to say to the guy, "Okay, he was in me already. I should let him finish. So let him fuck me a little bit longer. I mean, we went this far."
I felt no responsibility to
Good for you.
for this guy to achieve orgasm.
You're very healthy.
When I was younger, but I had a guy. I met a guy in Montana when I was like 19, and I was like, oh, he was so hot there. He was like a mountain climber.
Montana hot.
Montana.
Muscular.
He came and visited me in New York. Doesn't translate.
It's like when you get that moo when you go to Hawaii.
Yeah,
you
you're
can't
like,
wear it when you come
cannot
home.
rock it when you're back at home. Yeah, so I learned that the hard way, but I was like 19 and he flew all the way here, so I got myself drunk enough to sleep with him.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he flew so far. But now I'm older. I'm like, you can always get out of fucking someone.
What is
unless
it that
it's Tyson.
What is it that it doesn't work? I mean, it's kind of like yeah, he's out of his environment.
Yeah.
He's hot there. He doesn't fit in with my friends. That kind of thing.
Well, it was more than that. He was like pointing out gay people.
Oh, I see.
And he was
hey, there's a gay.
Oh, this is really New York.
Yeah. You know, when you're in the mountains and all you're seeing is the sky, and he was like in a Dave Matthews cover band. I was 19, okay? I'm 19 years old. And but in retrospect, like he was such a dirtbag. Like he just wanted to.
Hey, wait a second. Here's the French guy who fucked you. We just
Oh
found him.
my God.
Oh, Oh, he's on the
I would
phone?
be
What was
so
it like when you were,
terrified.
what were you like? Did you enjoy having sex with Amy?
Oh, my God.
It would have been nice to have a little sex with her.
You were having sex with her.
I was trying to have sex with her.
Yeah, so what-
instead of
sounding like
flirting my
Borat.
foreskin over her shoulder.
This is not sounding
with
French.
the condom?
Oh, I don't know. It was the condom was grossed out too.
Was your foreskin?
Pretend it was upholstery. Use your imagination. You're a comedian.
Oh my God, flawless French accent.
Thank you. That's
Wow.
I trained him myself.
You're a dialect coach. I
That's
had no
right.
idea.
So you were a bad kid
Yeah.
who got in trouble at school, and then you make the switch to become a comedian somehow.
Yeah.
First time you get on stage, a disaster, I imagine. Where do you go to become a comedian?
I went to Gotham Comedy Club.
Yeah.
It used to be on a different street. It was like small, and I just walked by. I'd done theater, like I majored in theater,
Right.
so I didn't have to get over stage fright. But I
Where'd you go to college?
Towson University.
Where the
That's
hell
in
is that?
Baltimore.
Maryland.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Maryland. Yeah. I
Acting center of the world.
Oh God!
Yes.
Everybody
that
comes out
school
of
has
Towson.
churned out every
I think
great
Meryl
artist.
Streep, Jack Nicholson,
Right.
Marlon
They don't
Brando.
I think
talk about
Brando.
it.
He'd
They
come
don't
back
talk
and
about it,
have a
but they
couple
all went
master
there.
classes. Yeah.
So you went there,
Charles Dutton, guys. Anybody?
Oh, boy.
Rock.
and then you got up on stage,
Yeah, I tried it
and you killed. I bet the first time.
the first time. Yeah.
Did you have material when you got up on stage?
I walked past Gotham and it said, if you bring 4 people, you can get on stage. So I called, I'm from not far away, so I called people. They came in, and I wrote horrible jokes and delivered them like I was Seinfeld.
Yeah. What was the first joke that you ever told? Do you know?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh God, it was about when you're on the bus in the city. They have these things that go across town, you guys, that carry people, buses. You'll never have to worry about it. But
Yeah, I heard
when you're on the bus, if you feel it like deflate, the tire deflate, it means like a person's getting on that's all jacked up. And it's like some woman like who comes on and her like there's like things living in her legs. I talked about that, and I talked about skywriting and how skywriting annoyed me because it always faded. And I had like a little arc to the set because I was like, so this summer if you're going to propose to somebody, guys, it was like it was horrible.
Was your delivery all wrong? Was it just like...
I had like some sense of timing, but
Right.
I have a tape of it, and it's the most. I would rather watch my parents have sex than watch myself do that again.
Did your family say to you, listen, you're destroying your life, this is ridiculous,
No.
you don't know what you're doing,
My mom was like, "When are you headlining the Apollo? You
Wow.
are." She inflated my sense of self my whole life. Like I thought I was a model. Like
Right.
then you get old enough, the kids start getting mean. But I walked in the first day of middle school, and I was like, "Who wants it?"
Because she convinced you were the best looking girl ever.
She convinced me. She was like, "You're an angel. You sparkle." And I was like, "Look what you made."
Mom.
Oh,
So
I
is
thought
that
it was
bad
amazing.
parenting? Can some parents go overboard in inflating their kids so that they're not prepared for the world?
Well, I feel like I'm glad she did that.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can prepare you for kids are so mean. Like they were so mean. So you're gonna, find reality sooner
Right,
or
it's
later.
there.
But
was
yeah.
your mom in shock whenever you did something bad because she was so convinced you were an angel?
Yeah, she would be like you. When I was in 6th grade, I bit a girl. She cut me in line, and it was like the day they had Steakums at the cafeteria, which I found out later is just like not at all meat.
Yeah.
But this girl cut me, and I didn't really bite her. I just like scared her.
Right.
So they call my mom, and they're like, "Amy bit someone." She's like, "You have the wrong number." And I'm like, "Mom, I was just trying to scare her."
But your mother was a pushover. Hey, you
Yeah.
have a funny story. You went to Great Adventure one time, or one of those places, and you were
Yes.
waiting in line for a very long
yes.
time.
I went to Great Adventure,
Right.
and I don't like amusement parks. I think
Right.
they're horrifying. But I went to Great Adventure, and I was with this family, and they were intense about Great Adventure. They brought us. We had to go there at 6 a.m. so we could go through the stupid safari. We saw like one thing that might have been a monkey,
Right.
but I think it was just like a stuffed animal. It was like a pigeon wearing ears, and then we waited for the Scream Machine, and there's a special line where you can wait to sit in the front seat because that's the best seat because you look like you're going to die.
Right.
So we wait for hours, and then it's our turn to sit in the front. And who gets to cut the whole line and take our seat? Robin. Robin cut us.
Robin
on the Scream
Quivers.
Machine. Robin Quivers. You cut us.
Yeah, you evidently.
Human being. And we're all going, Robin, we've been
Did she
waiting.
get booed?
No, everyone was really excited to see her. She knew everyone loves her. She smiles, and everyone's
Great
like,
Adventure was a sponsor of ours. I remember this.
Right.
And because if you were a VIP, so to
Yeah.
speak, you got to cut in
Well,
front
they
of the
had
line.
somebody bring me around
Yeah.
to every ride.
Right. So, you know, you don't
It
really...
was way more exciting to see you than it was. No one was pissed. Everyone was like,
Well, it's funny because they were a sponsor of ours. So Gary gets told, you can go to Great Adventure. You'll be able to cut in line.
Yeah.
He brings his wife, his 2 kids. They go. He cuts right in the line. He said he got booed so badly. And people started taunting him in front of it and his children and everything because
front of his children.
well, in front of his, they were taunting the kids too because you know what, people had waited in line a really long time,
Right.
And all of a sudden, look who's here,
Look
Gary.
who's here.
Fa, fa,
Gary
food.
Moneybags,
Yeah,
Phooey.
money.
no, well, he doesn't have that
He said
smile.
it
He
was
doesn't
so
have Robin's.
bad.
You know what it was? It was. I realize now, especially hearing Amy's story.
Yeah.
Like the woman who brought us around, she said, "Oh, you know, I had Chris Rock last week and everything." So I figure if you're going to get cut, you expect Chris Rock to walk
Yeah.
up. You see
Yeah.
me,
Baba Booey.
like what the fuck?
What a disappointment.
Yeah. So you were, I was reading notes on you. You were
Yeah.
a really bad person because you used to shoplift. You'd get into big trouble.
Wow.
God, did I say that in my interview?
Yes, yeah.
I got arrested a couple times.
She got arrested a
I
couple
do
You're
not.
lucky not to be in prison.
That
What
is correct.
this?
That is
Every
correct.
kid goes through a shoplifting stage. I
Not
went,
like me.
But did you, I mean, every kid doesn't get caught.
Yeah, well, I was, it was grand larceny. You shoplifted?
Oh my God! All of my friends. My mother did not like my friends. Now I realize why.
They are bad friends.
They would say we're going to go to Roosevelt Field and we're going to have a shoplifting spree. And I would be in such a nervous panic. I go, well, I want to go along with the group. I
Yeah.
want to be a part of this. And they were all terrific at it. I had a friend who could hide whole record albums. There was no CDs. It was record albums underneath his coat.
Oh, my God.
Another friend would go into like a Barnes & Noble type bookstore and steal every book, hardcover,
Yeah.
softcover, everything. And it was sort of like a competition. So they bring me along. I'm sweating bullets. I don't want to steal anything. I have this. I'd never stolen anything in my life.
Yeah.
I walk into Macy's. And I saw tie tacks. Now, I don't wear ties. I'm a little kid.
What are you going to do with
What
that?
do you need a tie?
But I wanted to steal something so I could be in with
Like,
the
look,
crowd.
guys, yeah.
And so I swiped a tie tack. I stuck it in my pocket. I was shitting in my pants. I came out with this tie tack like I had just won the lottery.
Right.
I remember bringing it home and feeling horribly. But the thing that saved me was I brought my cousin with me, and they wanted him to shoplift, and I felt in charge of him. And I
Right.
said, we're going home. I don't want anything bad. I went home. Thank God. All my friends got caught, and they brought the police in. They were involved
Wow.
in everything. But these guys couldn't
They were
really,
trailing them.
I don't know what happened, but
Oh.
somebody got caught in the store, and then
Yeah.
that was it, and then it was all over for them. What was
Did
your
you
story?
you got caught?
I got caught. Well, the first time I got arrested, I was out. I think it was like a junior Olympic. Like I played volleyball,
Right.
and we were in San Jose, and it was something. My mom was the chaperone of this tournament, and we were going around, and I was just like stealing whatever, like candles, shot glasses, nothing like
Right.
that I would
All
ever use.
junk that you'll never need.
Garbage, and I didn't get caught. The other girls got caught, and they said if anyone else did, fess up. And I'm like, we're a team, right, guys? Okay. I'm like, let's all tell them. I'm like, I did it. Now you guys go, and they're all like,
"Oh,
yeah,
you're
that's all you."
kidding.
Yeah, so I got in trouble. I got benched the whole tournament, knee pads around the ankles. My mom is just the chaperone, just staring at me. I think she still thought she probably didn't do it. Somebody probably planted something on her. But then the time I got arrested. Bad. I want to tell you I was like 14, but
Right.
it was I was like 21. I was like 20 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
I was at Bloomingdale's and with my.
Did you have a problem? Do you think you're
Your
a kleptomaniac?
face was extended.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
are.
I had been shoplifting for a long time.
So some people actually have like a problem, like they like you're
Yeah.
not taking
Can't go
stuff.
into a store without
you-
it.
You're not taking stuff you need necessarily. It's just the idea, the thrill of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, isn't it sad? Like, I'll read some police blotter when I'm in some city, and it's all like, this 90-year-old woman was stealing milk to
Right.
feed her grandson. I'm like, I already have that pinstripe pantsuit, but why don't I get another one? I was like really well dressed. It was college. I was like stealing a lot of nice clothes, but I figured out a way I could return the clothes and
Right.
get cash.
Oh no!
Oh, wow.
Yes, so I was into it, but it wasn't about what I could get very much. It was the adrenaline.
Did you go to a psychiatrist about this?
Totally a rush.
Did you go to a psychiatrist about this?
Not
Because
about this specifically. I
Right.
mean, I've gone to
Have
many
you
psychiatrists.
stopped? Do you?
Oh yeah, no.
You're not
After
going to
getting
take our.
arrested,
You're not
that's
going to
it.
take our little tchotchkes over there, are you?
No, no. I mean, they're gorgeous. They're really everything in this room looks amazing.
So you
no,
got
I don't have
caught?
a problem stealing things.
Right.
It was only from like
So who
big
caught you?
places. Bloomingdale's.
Bloomingdale's
Yeah,
got you.
they're real. Beware, they're really tough.
And they took you down and they arrested you and the whole
yeah,
thing?
and
Wow.
it was with my cousin who is
Senator Chuck Schumer.
he's not my uncle.
What is he?
I don't know. He's like my dad's cousin.
Oh, so you're
Yeah.
not. You don't really know him.
We know each other.
Right, right. Does he
if we
root
saw
for
each
you?
other, I think he hopes that I probably get hit by a train, so my name can stop appearing. Yeah, it's never good press for me.
Don't you think the family is proud of you? Don't you think Chuck Schumer even says, "Hey, you know who
There's
my cousin
I don't
is"?
know what
It
she
depends
is, but
on the
we're
thing.
related.
Right.
Like I think they thought Last Comic Standing was exciting, and being here, they'll be super excited about. But other things, like they don't really like. I was trying to explain to my dad what a roast was, and he was like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't do that." You know, I was like, "Maybe not."
What
but,
does your dad do for a living?
He mostly just shits himself. He has MS. He lives in a hospital.
Oh,
but it's really
dear.
somehow not sad because he still thinks he's like gorgeous. Like he's trying to get me to help him set up a Match.com profile.
Wow.
Like, I'm like, what do you want me to write? Like shits himself and has no memory. He's like, that's perfect.
So your parents are divorced?
Yeah.
And he has MS.
Yeah, but he's like happy. It's the weirdest. He's fine.
You
He's
don't
totally
feel sad
fine.
about any of this?
No, I mean, if I really think about it, it's so like I have seen my father drop heat in front of me at LaGuardia. It was the worst. I was going to spend the summer in Montana with my brother, and he was like, it was when you could still walk people to the gate of their
Right.
plane. And my dad was like, I'm going to walk you to the gate. Like there were we knew it was getting worse. So we like went surfing for the last time together. Like
Right.
we, all these last things. And
That's sad.
that was
I'm
really
gonna cry.
sad. Do it, please. I want you
Cry
to know.
now. Let's see it.
No,
She's a
but-
bullshit artist. She's not crying. Right.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to cry. Can I have another latte?
Yeah.
Let me wipe my tears with this
That's very
100.
heavy to go surfing with your father for the last time.
That was really heavy.
Are you waiting for the big call from Saturday Night Live or something? Like, did you ever fantasize about being on there?
Oh, yeah.
Did you audition?
No, I've been asked to audition. I'm like, trying to get better, and I'm an actor, but I don't really do characters. But I'm not like, my goals change so much that I want to keep getting better at stand up,
Right.
and I'm getting more acting work the past couple years. It's been really good.
In other words, you still enjoy doing stand-up. A lot of
yeah.
people, like I saw Eddie Murphy on David Letterman, who I think is one of the most brilliant stand-ups. And he was
Yeah.
like, at 27, I was done with it. That's it. I never wanted to do it again.
I can't imagine that. I mean, that would be fine if that ever happens, but I can't wait to
You
get on
love
stage
it.
every night.
And
Yeah. But
'cause
it
some guys
sucks traveling. I mean,
Yeah.
everything other than the actual stage time is awful. Like, it's really depressing.
Especially for a girl, because like guys at least go on the road and get
They'll
laid a
get
lot.
drunk, they'll get laid. After the show, I'm like, I hope no one says anything too mean to me. I'm like selling my CDs. I'm like,
Right.
everyone has something. They'll be like, they'll think it's a compliment, and I'm like, they'll be like, you're a lot thinner in person, and I'm like,
God.
did you think that I wasn't going to hear that? Like, well, on TV, you're a fucking beast. You
Do
know?
guys hit on you at all at these
A
clubs?
tiny bit,
A
but they
little
don't
bit.
do it well. You
Yeah.
know, they'll like come up and try and like make a joke. I would love to like meet a guy and be like, let's check out the Best Western.
You're a successful stand-up comedian. Can you make a good living doing it nowadays, or is like income gone down because everyone's sort of hurting?
The economy.
No, I'm in a good position. I'm not rich. I live in a studio and ride my bike everywhere.
What
but,
what kind of living can a stand-up comic who's really headlining now and doing a good
like headlining now on TV a little bit?
Yeah.
You can make 100.
Can you make 200?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So you could have a good year, make 200 grand.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
And you travel. How many days a week you got to travel?
I'm usually on the road 4 days a week.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it less. I'm trying to only go out maybe 1 or 2 weeks a month.
Right.
But
the bigger you get, if
Yeah.
you do a couple more of these Comedy Central
and
things,
you get to
couple
do a
more,
theater.
right, and then suddenly the world is your oyster.
Oh, you have a private jet. There is
Right.
no road. You
There
get
is-
to fly home,
That's
sleep in
right.
your own bed.
You'll never drive
have
yourself
sex with your
again.
own wife.
So what's the goal? You want to be the world's greatest stand-up?
No.
Do you just want to make a living being a stand-up? You want to get more acting work?
Yeah, I want to develop. I want to make.
What's the best acting job you've had?
I just did a movie with Steve Carell.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's called Seeking a Friend for the End of the World.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, and I'm developing a show with Comedy Central, and CBS just bought a pilot.
Oh, very nice.
I'm making moves, and I'm going to be on this show that's on Adult Swim called Delocated, and it's the funniest show I've ever seen.
So this is it for you. You're on your way.
I'm trying. I want to just, like, what do you think? Don't you just have to keep making it interesting and fun for yourself?
Yes, you do. You
Right?
do. Yeah,
That's
otherwise you go insane. Let's go to Rick. We're on with Amy Schumer. Her album Cutting is available now on iTunes. Are you referring to the fact that you cut yourself or something?
That my cousin did. Yeah, my sister did.
Your sister was a cutter?
Well, that's what the joke is on the album.
Oh, that's funny. What?
Yeah, well, the way I get off stage is I say, I'll leave you with this. My little sister, used to cut herself. And then I put the mic in the mic stand and I leave.
And that's the joke.
That's the end of my set. After I spend an hour with these people, I leave them with nothing.
Is that a reality or is that a joke?
It's a joke.
It's a joke. I'm not clear, but I won't press you.
No,
on it.
my sister's a school psychologist doing really well.
I see. Okay, very good. All right. Well, that's what happens. If you do cut yourself, you become a psychologist. Rick, go ahead in Pittsburgh.
Hey, thanks, King. Amy, were you spanked growing up, and do you think you still deserve a spanking for all that shoplifting you did?
Well, thank you for asking that.
All right, that's
Richard.
but it is an interesting question. You know
I
what?
was spanked growing up.
And fully nude?
Yeah, and once in a while a finger would slip in, and I'd be like, wait, is this punishment or not?
Who was spanking you? Your
Mom
dad?
spanked me.
Your
Dad
mom.
spanked me once because Mom made him, and he cried the whole time.
But they didn't
which
make
was
you,
really awkward.
Did they make you pull down your pants and get spanked?
I don't remember being ass out. Luckily, I was at an age where I totally had it coming. If they hadn't spanked me,
She remembers.
I
What
loved
about
every
that sexual?
second of it.
Because I find you a very intelligent woman,
Thank
a very bright, sexy woman. But I could see where a guy gets intimidated because let's say we get in bed and then I want to spank you or something like that. I would think, oh, she's going to think this is funny. She's going to make jokes about it. I mean,
I
guys,
have no jokes in the bedroom.
You are able to
I am
turn it
dirty,
off.
and I have no jokes in the bedroom.
What does it mean you're dirty?
I like having fun in
Not
bed.
anal.
I've never had
You
anal.
talk dirty?
Yeah.
Oh.
you do?
I like being talked to. I like talking. But I dated a guy.
Yeah.
The last guy I dated, he needed, the sex got really weird really fast. Which I guess it has to. Because if you don't enter that stuff in early, like after 5 years and you're like,
It's hard to put
will
it
you
in,
wear this
yeah.
rice patty hat? You'll be like, where is this coming from? But, so it got to a place where he wanted to watch me watch porn every time, and he needed me to talk constantly about things I'd done.
Oh.
So at a certain point, I ran out of shit. And I started lying, and then he
Because
started.
you're not that sexually experienced. I mean, there's only so many experiences.
There's
you
only
got.
so much I've done.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm making up stories, and then he started fact checking. He'd be like, wait, you said, I'm like, fuck you. I haven't had a new story for a year.
Right.
It was exhausting.
Tell me the time that girl came on to you.
Yeah.
And,
I'm like,
right.
do you really think any of this happened?
At
It's like
some
whenever I
point-
start dating a guy, I always pretend maybe I'm like, I don't know, I've thought about a threesome, but... And then 6 months in, I'm like, I'm not doing that.
At
That's
some
weird.
point, at some point,
You just got to like having sex,
it can
right?
get it can get exactly.
Yeah,
it can get
what about
weird.
just fucking each other?
Yeah, doesn't it feel good enough being inside
What
of
happened
me?
to penetration?
Yeah.
Right.
Come
Do you need
on.
a lot of foreplay?
Not a lot.
Right.
I like
If a guy spanks you, you don't think that's weird though, right? You're
No.
okay with you're down with it.
I'm more than down with it.
Right. Oral
Yeah.
sex okay with you both ways?
Totally.
You're all right with it.
Huge fan.
Unless you're not circumcised.
Yeah, in which case, get out of here.
Gunplay.
Gunplay?
Choke
Only on
you-
the high holy days.
Shoot you in the foot, maybe, with my gun? All right. Let's go to Bill. Bill says he wants to say hi to Amy Schumer, the new album Cutting, available on iTunes. Go ahead, Bill.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, now.
Hey, Amy. How you doing?
Hi, Bill.
I really love you.
Thank you.
All right, I don't think we're going anywhere with this. Nick, let's go to Nick in Charleston, West Virginia. Go ahead.
Hey, Howard, I just want to get your opinion. Don't you think she's 10 times hotter and funnier than Whitney Cummings?
Well, what about that? Are you, because you...
Are
sort
you
of,
hotter
because,
than Whitney?
Yeah, first of all, yeah.
No.
Are you hotter than Whitney Cummings?
That's a definitive no.
Are you friends with Whitney Cummings?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Whitney very much.
Me too.
Now, because you're a female comic, it's almost like, Eddie Murphy was talking about this. He was the black comic for a while. He was like, there was no room for two.
Yeah.
It's like you sat in, Whitney wasn't on the comedy roast. Now, are you being compared to Whitney now? Is it like a competition?
I haven't, no one has said that to me. But I think there's room for all of us, for real.
I would think so.
And I don't know how other people feel, but when I see a funny woman, I'm like, yes, like, trust me, I don't want to be the one. I think women are hilarious. So at Whitney, there's no sense of competition.
Whitney's very funny.
She's motivated. Like,
Are you a
she's
Sarah
great.
Silverman fan?
Yeah, totally.
Are you a Sandra Bernhard fan?
Yes.
You like you root for other comics.
Hell yeah. Absolutely.
Rosie O'Donnell, you enjoy her?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. No,
Ellen DeGeneres, you like her?
Yeah.
You do. So you like,
she had me on her show. I was the first female comic. She had me on her show.
do you know her personally?
Just from her,
Just
like
from,
her
just
getting
from
me on the show. Yeah.
All right. Let's go to... Yeah.
Howard, can I throw in one more thing?
Yes.
Whitney, or I'm sorry, Whitney. Amy.
You can call me whatever you want, Bill. Oh, Bill's gone.
Nick,
this is West Virginia.
Nick, go ahead.
I have masturbated to those pictures of you online many times.
What pictures?
Thank you.
What pictures?
I
are...
posed naked in Cosmo.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to...
Sexiest thing I've ever seen.
Is that
Thank
true?
you. Yeah.
You were nude?
Yeah,
No hang-ups,
I shot
huh?
at the Comedy Cellar.
You have big breasts now. I'm
Thanks.
looking. What are you, like a C?
Yeah.
I'm going to say you're a C cup. No inhibition about that.
No, I'm like, I better do it now while everything is still kind of where it's supposed to be.
Did anybody say to you, like an agent or anything, like, listen, Amy, don't do this?
Yeah, and I was like, bye.
And
I'm doing this.
And what'd your mom say about this?
She was at the shoot.
She was there.
She was watching the door. We did it at the Comedy Cellar, and she was making sure no beer deliveries came in while I was...
You showed the vagina?
No.
Just the titties?
Yeah.
What'd you do with the
I was
vagina?
just in underwear. I mean,
Panties.
they were like, will you take off your panties? And I was like, okay. And my mom was like, no.
No, you
I was
pay
like,
for that.
Oh, yeah. I was like, okay.
No kidding.
No, yeah.
I have to see this.
Check it out.
Oh, you are free.
Hey, thanks, Howard.
Why did you bring your mom to a nude shoot?
I don't know. I think,
I wouldn't feel sexy in front of my mom.
I didn't mind it. I guess that is pretty boundaryless and disgusting, but I felt fine. Because it wasn't about, it's Cosmo, so, I mean, I wanted to feel sexy, but
Was
it was
your mom
more,
naked too, just to support
everyone
you?
was naked. Yeah,
Beautiful,
her
yeah.
boobs were on the floor, running around.
Wow.
No, it was,
there it is.
There's one of them.
Look at you, naked. Oh.
Smug over the shoulder shot. Yeah, it was like about the article I wrote to go along with it. They gave me like 6 pages. Like they've been very cool to me. Kate White, the editor in chief, there is the coolest woman ever.
You look so cute there.
Thank you. Yeah, they chose like a little cute one. I was like, can we use the ones where I look dirty? And they were like, no.
But no nips. You don't see any nipple.
No. Well, I have some. I don't know if there are any online where you see nipple, but there were some where you saw more.
Yeah, and you have a good body image. In other words, you don't sit there all day like these women and obsess. Oh, I've got to lose 5 pounds. I got to gain 10 pounds.
No.
You're not freaked out by
I mean,
that.
I'll have days where I'm like, oh my God, what happened? But I feel like sexy. I feel like good. I work out. I take care of myself.
When you date a guy, do you walk around the house nude?
Not over like not I'm not
You're
like
not
the
a
sign
nudist?
like opening
Okay.
pickles, but I'm naked a lot. I'm not hurrying to the bathroom covering myself up.
All right, Abe, go ahead. You're on the air. You're on with Amy Schumer, and then I'll let you out of here. We've kept you locked up for an hour. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Hey, Howard. Hey, now.
Hey, Abe.
Amy, just a question and a comment.
Okay.
Number one, what is it you do for a living? And number two, I'm looking forward to seeing you appear on a carton of milk.
Okay.
What does that mean? That's an insult.
He's
He wants
insulting
me
her.
to be.
yes.
He wants me to be.
I saw you on the Charlie Sheen roast. I didn't think you were funny at all.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
You're-
She was so funny.
Oh, yeah. Her joke about...
What about her talking about her dad? How much darker does this get?
Oh, yeah, the joke that she made about Steve-O's buddy...
That was not a
you're
bad joke.
upset about that.
Well, let's talk about it. I
Go
mean,
ahead.
let's talk about it. What made you upset about me saying that joke? Let's talk about
I thought
it.
it was tasteless.
It hurt your feelings. You thought it was too
No, it
soon.
didn't hurt my feelings. I just really thought it was tasteless.
Okay, you're completely entitled to feel that way. I didn't say it with any malintent. I didn't think that it was going to hurt anyone's feelings, but I understand you feeling that way. That's okay.
Okay. I mean, I'll tell you that. You're cute as hell. I'd love to bang you.
Thank you.
Well,
that
hey,
means the
that's
world.
nice.
That's something.
That means the world.
By the way, I
Thank
should
you.
tell you, this guy is Anthony Jeselnik, the guy you date. Yeah, so go ahead, Pat. Pat, you're on
Hey,
the...
how you doing, Howard?
Hey, now.
Amy, you were on a roast a while ago, and you did a joke about leg braces. It was the funniest thing. And
Oh, thanks.
What one
I
was
think
that?
you're
Well, I
the
just
greatest
said-
comedian. And I'm glad you're getting, you know, the recognition you deserve. And Howard, I love you, 20-year listener plus.
Thanks, Pat.
And thanks for getting me through every day.
All right, Pat. Thank you.
you.
What was the joke
I just
that Pat's
said
talking about?
I wasn't a good-looking kid, but then the old story, I finally got the braces off of my legs, and yeah, that's it. But that's really nice.
Well, Amy, I wish you the best.
Thank you so
much. It was
much.
great having you here.
Thank you for having me here. This
the
is a
album
dream.
is called Cutting. I enjoyed your performance on Charlie Sheen Roast,
Thank
and I
you.
wanted to meet you, and I'm glad you came in. I think you're great.
Thank you.
Amy Schumer's album Cutting is available now on iTunes. Don't miss Amy November 5th at the Varsity Theater in Minneapolis. It's going to be a big show.
Well, there's a theater.
Big
All right.
You sell your own merchandise after the show?
Yes, it's the worst.
Is that the most embarrassing part of being a comedian nowadays?
It's like the red light district.
In other words, you get off the
You're
show.
up on the stage.
I mean, you're on the stage, you're the big star, and then you what? You walk to the back of the club.
Peddling my wares.
And you
It's so
stand there-
humiliating.
Can you get someone to maybe do that for you, or
Yeah, but then, you know... Then
what
it's-
items do you have that you
Oh,
sell?
I just sell a CD.
Just a CD? No
CD
T-shirts?
and my hypercolor T-shirts, my
Your clothing line?
boxers. Yeah, no, I've got
so
nothing else.
you have a booth? You set up a little
No,
booth,
they'll have like some table, and they'll just have my CDs there waiting for me.
and you'll sit there.
And I sign it. Yeah.
And do you bring change and things with you so you can?
I'm the worst.
Yeah.
Like when I did the last Comic Standing tour, I sold a CD that I would just burn on my computer, and I would sell it for $5. And sometimes I wouldn't have any more CDs, so I would sell like the cookies that they left in the green room. But
That's
no,
funny.
I'm not good at marketing myself.
Is it worth how much extra money can you make a night? Is it worth the humiliation of sitting there and having to sell your own CD?
I can make an extra $700 a weekend,
Oh, wow.
and that's a lot. That's a lot of money for me.
That's big money.
But sometimes, but it really doesn't feel worth it. It
Yeah.
is a horrifying, embarrassing thing.
Do you bring your own credit card machine? I mean, how does it work financially? Like, how do you
No.
like? Let's say someone
I'm
buys.
standing there.
If someone buys, I don't know how much a CD is. How much is $20?
Yeah.
And they say, "Look, I have 100. Can you break it?"
I'll
you-
say no. Can you go to the bar? Sometimes
see.
people be like, I have to go to an ATM, and then they leave their date there with me, and they're like, "So, where do you go next?" And I'm like, "I want to kill myself."
Now you've got to
I wanna-
entertain this person.
It's because you've just expended so much energy. You know,
Yeah.
you put so much of yourself into it. The last thing you want to do when you leave is that, you know, so right after the show, I have to be
also,
like
I
tap
would,
dancing.
I would think, you know, to build up your star quality, to see after you've killed on stage and you've done your thing, to be sitting there
Yeah.
hawking your wares, so to speak.
It's not good.
Wouldn't it be good if the club could just provide someone for all the comics that would sell? I
Yeah.
guess you can.
But then, you know, people feel like it's mean and they want a picture and they want to meet you. So it's like,
Right.
okay. I'm
All
like,
right.
let me do that. These people came out, they spent their weekend night with me. But I don't know. Sometimes it wouldn't be as hard if people didn't have
Believe
all
me.
the backhanded compliments.
After my show, I stand in the Sirius lobby. I'm selling CDs, too. Amy Schumer's album, Cutting, is available now on iTunes. And, by the way, for all things Amy, go to amyschumer.com. Thanks for coming in,
Thank you
Amy.
so much.
That was fun.
Thank you so much.
I had a good time. I
Oh,
hope you
man,
did.
so did I. Thank you
Great
so
meeting
much.
you.
Amazing meeting you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
a lot of fun.
Thanks a lot.
You're so funny.
Ooh, thank you.
I get the. I used to get the. Hey man, your teeth aren't that big, and I'd be like, thanks.
Yeah, you're like, oh, wow, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Amy, I knew the whole time you were
You
doing
knew I was
that
gonna say
great
that?
adventure story. I was only there twice. I was like, this is gonna be it.
But we were so excited. But I was just like, we were like, hey, what? Oh, we were excited, and we have the picture because we sat right behind you. So there's a picture of us with you in the screen
that's
machine.
hysterical.
Yeah, it was really
Oh, my
ridiculous.
goodness. Well, you were great. I
Thank
love
you.
the roast
Thank
stuff.
you.
It was a pleasure to meet you.
You too. Thank you so
Okay.
much for having me.
Amy, well done
Hi.
today.
Yeah, was it good?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Usually, you can sort of gauge it, I think, by how long you're in the studio for.
Oh, do some people go in and out?
Yeah.
But that was good though.
Yeah, that was nice.
Oh, good.
A nice slow roast, an hour.
An hour.
So really cooked in there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad that there was one caller that was mad because it was like, okay, good, so it's not all just fun and games. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you got the full Stern Show experience.
Yeah.
Now, why is coming here like the mecca for comedians? Because Howard's not a stand-up
that?
guy.
I think just because he's so honest, he doesn't blow any smoke. So, if he likes you, he really likes you. He doesn't need to pretend.
Right, so he's not shticky like some terrible comedian.
Yeah, he doesn't need anything from anybody. So it really comes just from a place of him enjoying what you do. So it's like the biggest compliment.
Cool. And I look forward to your next appearance, and hopefully you can talk more about Uncircumcised Frenchmen.
Yeah, let's get back to that.
Yeah, I wanted to know more.
Let's get back to the rape.
Casey's on the phone. You remember Casey? You used to work here.
Oh, Casey Armstrong?
Yeah, Casey Armstrong. You're doing very well.
Always love to hear from Casey.
Yes, Casey.
Howard.
Hey, man.
Hey, brother. How you doing, man?
What's happening?
Hey, listen to me. I got this thing on demand. They put it on, like, the Cablevision.
Yeah.
And, you guys had an episode where all you guys took your shirts off, and I've made critiques on each one.
Did we do that? When did we do that?
When was that?
It must have been older.
No, it wasn't. It was after I left. It was. It must have been like a year ago or something like that. I don't know.
I don't remember that.
Didn't you leave
Hey, Robin,
like
how are
10
you?
years
You're
ago?
very sexy.
After he left. Yeah, okay, go ahead real quick, because I got to get the news.
Okay, ready? All right, here you go. I'm doing it quick. Howard, first of all, I'll start with positive, all right? You have a good back.
Right.
Your back is nice.
Thank you.
But you got cow nipples. You have huge nipples.
Me?
Yeah. Did
No,
you know
I
that?
don't. I have a nice chest.
Yeah, no, but your nipples are huge. They're like cow udders.
No, you got the wrong guy, man.
Well, dude, your nipples are big, and Sal has big nipples, too.
Really? Gee, I never thought of myself
I
as big.
didn't think
I
about
always
that.
see myself as a small nipple. Are you sure you were looking at me?
I'm positive, brother.
Maybe my nipples don't photograph well.
They photograph big.
Yeah, because I kind of have small ones.
No, you have big nipples.
By the way, is Casey gay or what?
Yeah, what are you doing? Evaluating their bodies
No guy ever looked at my nipples before.
and came away with that.
I might be a gay. I don't know. But, but I can tell you something. Fred is looking amazing.
Right.
No, he's jacked up. He's got he's got a great chest. He's got good arms.
Right.
Right. I mean, have you?
Wow.
He's like intimidating this guy.
This is so weird, this call, isn't it? This is a weird call, Casey, but go ahead.
No, it's a good call. You complimented me.
Well, yeah, okay, but still, it's weird.
But all right, I'm going through it. Richard, he actually has a good. He looks like a lumberjack. You know what I mean? But he has a huge gut.
No, he's super ripped
Yeah, he
now.
got thin.
He's thin and ripped.
No, he doesn't look that bad. Well, I guess it might have been a while ago.
Yeah, it
But
was.
Sal has a lot of fat deposits on the side of his chest,
Right.
and he has good vascularity in his shoulders.
Do you care, Robin?
This is ridiculous.
What the hell?
I gotta tell you, I'm as baffled as you.
Yeah, I'm freaked out, dude. Anybody else you want to talk about? Hey, man, how about the last time I saw you? You look bloated. So what's up with that?
Steroids?
Was it juice?
Yeah, man.
You still doing that?
Water.
You're still doing juice?
I'm 185 right now.
185 means you're big or small?
Dude, when you saw me, I was probably 230.
Oh, wow.
It's either that or AIDS. I'm not sure.
Anybody else? Any other guys you want to talk about, like Benji or anything?
Yeah,
Who else took their
he
shirt
looks
off?
cock-strong.
What?
He looks cock-strong.
Benji?
Yeah,
What does
he looks
that mean?
cock-strong. But he's like Cabby. Remember, Cabby was he was big and he looked kind of intimidating, but it wasn't like he couldn't do nothing with it. Benji, he could do well, but he has small nipples.
Wow.
I'm out of my mind, Howard.
I think so.
What happened to you?
Case, would I be
I don't
better
know,
with bigger
brother.
nipples?
I was talking about Jason. I like the guy. I'm a big fan of his. I think he's great, but I'm worried about the guy.
Right.
I mean, I'm really. I mean,
How are his nipples?
cholesterol. I got high cholesterol. Do you know that?
I didn't know that.
Are you okay?
No.
What's wrong?
Just had a little panic attack. All good.
You having a panic attack?
Yes.
What just happened?
I don't know. Hey, do you like Lamb of God?
What?
What?
Nice.
What?
I don't know. Hey.
What's going on, man?
Yikes.
You all right, man?
No.
What's going on?
What can we do?
Talk to me. Casey.
I'm on the Librium.
What are you on?
Librium.
Librium.
What is that?
It's a drug.
What does it do?
It's for the DTs.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, are you an alcoholic?
Oh, yeah, you know that.
I didn't realize it was that bad. So when you get withdrawals, you...
Where are you calling us from?
I'm from I'm watching my friend's dog.
You homeless?
No.
Oh.
And who put you on Librium?
The the emergency room.
Wow.
God, this guy had the world by the balls.
How did you wind up in the You wound up in the emergency room so drunk?
Have you? No. It was days after. Have you ever seen Leaving Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I normally don't like Nicolas Cage, but he's amazing.
Is that your life?
Yes.
Are you getting any help? Are you talking to anyone?
I'm talking to you.
No, but I mean, are you talking to any psychiatrists or anything?
Yeah, I've been to about 20 of them.
Yeah. What do they say your problem is? Your dad?
There's a whole bunch of terms that they give.
You got problems. You got a diagnosis?
What they say, what is it, borderline?
Borderline schizo? Or just borderline personality?
They say borderline.
Borderline personality.
And then bipolars.
Yeah.
And Benji is cockstrong.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Hey.
Jeez, Casey.
Casey, you ought to go on that drug Penisin.
That's like the, what is that?
Penisin?
Penisin?
Yeah.
Nice, I like it. Hey.
So they went to the hospital. You get hallucinating when you try to withdraw from alcohol. Did you stop drinking?
No.
So
you're drinking with the Librium.
I'm on the stuff and then I keep drinking.
Yeah. Wow. Dude.
What are you? I mean, thanks for calling.
Dude.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Dude.
Anything you want to promote real quick?
No, not at all. I'm actually going to L.A. in 2 days.
What?
I'm going back to L.A. in 2 days.
Where are you now?
I'm in New York.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'm back in New York.
Don't come in here.
You're not going to invite him down?
No.
Dude.
Hey, is Benji cockstrong? Case, is Benji cockstrong?
I think Benji is cockstrong. I don't know if I mentioned that.
Yeah.
And you have big nipples.
I do miss Casey. He was fun when he worked here.
He was amazing
Yeah.
and
But he just went crazy.
very, very concerned.
Yeah. Sorry to hear all these problems, dude. You had the world by the balls. You know.
So
This is one of the best looking guys ever.
Did the doctors put you on the Librium here?
What? I'm very happy.
Did you fuck any more trannies?
You know, that hurts, Howard. And not
That's
really
the
gonna
only
respond to
thing?
that.
You're not?
Oh, jeez.
What is this coughing thing?
I don't know.
Do you still go to the gym even though you drink like a fish?
Yeah, I'm dude, I'm ripped.
Really?
Have you got to see?
185.
Are you talking to your mother? Have you seen her?
Love her.
Good. Okay.
Right.
And what does she say about all this?
Well, she does the best that she can, and but I make my own decisions.
Sure. You're making some great decisions.
Hey, did I mention that Benji is cockstrong?
All right. Hey, listen, Case.
It's good to hear from you.
Good hearing from you, my man. Wait a second. David Arquette wants to talk to you, okay?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me make sure I don't lose you. Go ahead, David.
Hey.
Hey, now.
What's up? How are you, Casey?
Hi, David. How are you, sir?
I'm good, buddy.
By the way, everyone has to vote for David Arquette.
We voted for you last week.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Yeah, and is Courtney going to stay home this week?
No.
Yeah, your sister's hot, bro.
Hey, man, but I was just hearing you, and, sounds like you're going through a hard time.
I'm looking for a little bit of God's mercy.
Yeah, well, you're on the right track. I mean, you could do stuff to, get your stuff together. You just start facing some of the shit you're going through, really look at yourself. And there's ways of doing that, and there's places you could go to get some help.
Have you gone anywhere to get help, Casey?
Too many, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's time to go again.
Do you understand that they put me on this shit like 20 years ago, right? It was it was new, and now they don't know how to get people off it.
Casey, what do you do? You primarily drink, or are you into coke and all that shit?
No, I have narcolepsy. You know what that is?
Yeah.
So they gave me Ritalin 20 years ago.
All right.
And
that's speed. You know, speed induces psychosis.
Yeah, I think it's kind of it might be what's happening now. But see, what happens is every time I go to rehab, they say you have to go cold turkey, and I won't do it because it's a horror and it's terrible. When I go to jail, that's what they do. It's the worst ever. I can't explain it.
How many times have you been in jail?
4 times.
4? And they make you go cold turkey, and what? You can't handle it?
Oh, dude, you have no idea. I can't explain to you how horrible it is.
So, but why do you go back on it once you go cold turkey and get through the horror of it?
But you can't because look, I've been on it for 20 years, and the amount that I take, I should be dead.
How much Ritalin do you take a day?
It was 300 milligrams. Now it's 200, and the overdose is 80, I believe.
Wow. Hey, David.
Yeah.
He's hardcore, huh?
Yeah, but, you know, a lot of that stuff is that people, like, medicate so much to, you know, I mean, some of that is necessary when you have certain conditions. But like,
David, what were you doing? David,
maybe you could go on like, get involved with his thing. As crazy as some people might think, he does have results with people that really want it. And
what, Dr. Drew?
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff is also not coming to terms with who you are and just getting real with yourself and answering some of the hard questions, forgiving yourself for some of the shit that you've done, sort of like starting over, you know, dealing with the past, cleaning up the past, and then going ahead. And
were you as bad as him, David?
I had different problems. I mean, everyone's got their own issues. But
you were primarily drinking, right?
Come on.
You were primarily drinking, right?
Primarily drinking, but, you know, when I was younger, I had drug problems, and when I, you know, had this last thing, I did ecstasy a couple times and mushrooms and shit like that.
Are you in any condition to really be giving KC advice? I mean, you're sober and everything?
Oh, yeah, I'm almost 10 months sober.
Okay. What do you think of that,
And
Casey?
for me, it's like a real, like...
No, I was sober.
What?
I was sober, and I hated it. It was worse than this.
What are you talking about?
He wants to be a drunk.
He never was sober. When were you sober?
I went to rehab. Don't you remember? I went there. I was sober for 4 months.
And you hated it?
I hated it. It was the worst possible thing ever.
Oh, my.
Did you do anything to, like, you know, try to, like, face... See, part of it's, like, you get all these feelings back, and it becomes really difficult. And then you have to, like, get some sort of tools to be able to deal with those feelings.
You hear what he's saying? Hey, Casey, how much are you drinking a day?
Dude, you know what I want to do? I'm like a bottom. Like at one point,
you're a bottom. I knew it.
Always suspected.
You know, Howard, with the gay stuff. For 1 minute, we're talking serious now.
Okay.
Yes. All right. We're joking.
Just tell me, how much are you drinking a day?
About 20 to 30 shots.
A day?
Yep.
20 to 30 shots a day. David, did you drink that much?
Not really, no.
Wow. Casey's hardcore, huh?
Yeah.
And you'll never see me drunk, ever.
Congratulations. I mean, 20, 30 shots a day, and they never see you drunk.
You will never see you drunk. We see you drunk.
You're one of the greatest alcoholics of all time.
Rukowski said everything shits and then it dies. So what do you think of that?
I think you're fucked. I think you got to get into some rehab, dude. That's what David's giving you good advice.
And you don't just get sober, as David says, you have to start working on all the things that make you want to get drunk.
Yeah, that's the thing. You do a lot of this stuff to numb yourself. I mean, there's certain stuff within your chemical balance that, you know, they probably could figure out a better, you know, system for you. I don't take anything personally, and when I went into rehab, I refused any kind of, like, the stuff that they give you there to kind of wean you off and all that stuff, but
bro, they won't, though. That's my problem, because...
Well, you probably would need some kind of program to, like, you know, put little... medications together to just keep you stable. And
you know what's crazy? KC has such discipline with his eating and with his gym and with all that.
But it doesn't matter.
And then you would even think, with all that vanity and working out and stuff, he would, like, lay off the sauce.
No, I'll go to the gym hammered.
Wow.
It doesn't matter. But here's the problem, David. You probably know what I'm talking about. What they're going to do every time I go to the rehab. I've been there a bunch of times, and I usually end up telling them to go fuck themselves because what they say is you have to go cold turkey. They don't wean you off. They have nothing to give you. So there's no way out.
Oh, dude, you could do it. You're a strong young guy. You could get off it.
Howard, I can't explain to you.
All right, so it's uncomfortable. You just do it.
It's not uncomfortable. It's dementia. What happens is you think that you're gonna die and that nobody can.
But how long does that last? A couple of days?
No, it lasts until you start taking the shit again.
Oh.
It depends on the rehab you're going to. That's why I think like Dr. Drew's got a solid like group of doctors and things going on. Like they know how to address that if you have any mental issues that you need sort of mood stabilizing stuff. But some of the other stuff that you're probably overdoing is probably making you.
Did I just hear a clown horn?
I was going to say, that's perfect, David, while you're giving advice.
Well, David, that's David's technique. He entertains you.
I've seen him, and it looks like he knows what he's talking about. But
he knows.
That even if I went to him, they would say, look, you stop this cold turkey. This is what it says in the book, because they have no idea what the fuck to do with it because it's so new. They have no idea what this shit does to you.
Yeah. All right, look, we're not going to get this solved now. Casey, get yourself to fucking rehab. Go to Dr. Drew or somebody.
Yeah, don't go back to L.A.
Yeah.
Go to rehab.
Just start getting honest with yourself. And then, try to, like, just move in a better place.
Well, I'll tell you what. You know what? The only thing that this has given me is making me become an amazing actor.
Nice.
All right. Listen, Casey, I got to go. Hey, David, I got to go. I got to go do the news.
Guys.
All right, later.
We will be watching you tonight on Dancing with the Stars.
Thank you. All the best, Casey.
Am I going to see you tomorrow or something?
I'm coming in next week. So
next week, okay.
I'm coming into town. So.
All right, good. I'll see you next week, David. Casey, take care of yourself, will you, pal? Really, get off that shit. You got the discipline to do it. It's enough
I'm
already.
going to L.A. and
it's unattractive.
I'm going to pose nude, and my mom is coming, and she's going to put her hand over my private parts, like Amy.
All right. Listen, go get some help. I mean it. Stop the nonsense. You can get off that shit. You know, you're going to get big tits like me if you don't calm down.
No, just nipples. Your chest is good. It's the nipples.
All right, Case. Thank you.
Did I mention Veggie's Cockstrong?
And thanks to David Arquette for calling in and trying to help Casey. Goodbye.
Guys,
bye. Very depressing.
God damn it.
What, Casey?
That
was bad?
What?
Hello? Oh, he's gone.
Now he's going to beat himself up for a bad appearance.
It was a great appearance, but I'm worried about the guy. I like him. Yeah, Ralphie, go ahead.
Hey, now. That really was the most bizarre call from Casey. You're talking about a bit you did 2 years ago?
I know.
Current. But, I just think it's funny when you guys always talk about Casey, you, Robin, and everybody. It's like, oh, my God, what a shame, what a shame. And it's just because he's good-looking. I mean, if he wasn't good-looking, nobody would really care. And
yeah, in a way, you're right.
You're absolutely right. If he was a mess, we'd expect this to happen.
Expect that. It's like, wow, he's good-looking.
The weird thing with Casey is the guy works out so intensely, and not only that, he looks like a supermodel. And it's like, wow, how could a guy that disciplined and that into his look be into that drinking and everything?
You're thinking of Casey, when he used to work there. I don't think he,
he's been that guy.
Yeah, I think he's got some miles on him now.
Oh yeah, he's not looking that good.
Well, you said like when you saw him last time, he's bloated. He
was a little scary. Yeah.
Yeah. He's frightening.
I hope he pulls it together. Good looking or not. I mean, I did like the guy. The guy worked with me so many years. He's a good dude.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It doesn't seem he's been trying to pull it together for a while. I don't think that's going to happen.
And Ralph, can you defend my nipples? I don't think they're overly big.
No, that was kind of strange. No.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I just had to start laughing in the middle because I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I know. It was weird.
Hey, I want to talk about your bodies.
We weren't looking for any feedback. All right, thank you.
Benji is cockstrong.
What's that, Casey?
Benji is cockstrong.
Right.
Way to get that drop right away.
Right.
You have big nipples.
What do you think of Ralph, Casey?
He didn't say anything about Ralph.
Well, you could have just said he has big nipples.
Yeah, come on.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Actually, people have said that about me, so.
All right. Thank you, Ralph.
Goodbye.
Ralph actually does have big nipples.
He does?
You have big nipples.
You're right, Casey.
Robin, like Howard, you saw Casey go from, I guess, sort of like an intern
to an employee, yeah.
Right, and a full-time one at that.
Yeah.
How much does it bum you out when he checks in?
It makes me very sad because one of the reasons Casey is not with us is because his behavior had become so erratic. He couldn't work here anymore. And, you know, we hoped that the fact that he couldn't be on the show would be a wake-up call and he'd pull himself together. And obviously that hasn't happened.
Seems safe to say that Casey spiraled out of control, not only since leaving the Stern Show, but it seems like the last couple of years. How do you decipher what's real and what's shtick and what's looking for a plug and all that?
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't really plugging anything today, and I thought he sounded pretty legitimate. You know, Casey's got a little sense of theater too, so sometimes he fucks with us. He could be a little messed up, but he likes to fuck with us too because he gets he understands the concept of the entertainment. But today, he wasn't really plugging anything, and I was a little worried about him today, I have to say.
Equally as important, does Howard have oversized nipples?
I never looked at Howard's nipples, and I'm never going to look at him again. I'll go home and look at my private parts poster, see what I can ascertain. Richard comes to me and tells me, "Oh, did you get snow on Saturday?" I'm like, "Yeah." So him and Kristen went up way upstate New York to go get their makeup done for a party they were doing in the city. Like, they literally traveled far. They get up there, they get dropped over the train. It's snowing like crazy, right? No trains are coming. So they're calling this, they're calling that. So he's the idiot that calls 911.
Oh, my
I said, "Why didn't you call the local I go, "What town are we in?" He goes, "Mayapack." I go, "Why didn't you call the Mayapack police?" He goes, "I don't know. We don't."
They called 911. You're lucky they didn't get arrested.
No.
Why did they call 911? I don't
Because
understand.
they were at the train station. It was snowing really hard, and no trains were coming. They called every cab company. They called the MTA. Unbeknownst to them, MTA had been shut down. They didn't know that.
1 minute.
So they were stuck, and they couldn't get home. So I said to him, "Why didn't you call the local police?" And he goes, "I didn't think of that." So I don't know what happened when he called 911, but the other funny thing is, this is so they could do this. That's the funniest part. That's so they traveled like an hour upstate to do that, to come back into the city to go to a party or something. He said they stayed in Sleepy Hollow.
Well, your point is, these are the idiots who stay on the beach in a hurricane. Like, you see it's snowing.
Well, no, he got up there, and then it started to snow. I'm not saying that. I'm saying...
But he knew the bad weather was coming.
No, but what I am saying is, 911 is for emergencies, not because the train
Not because you went trick-or-treating.
Not because the train didn't come.
Trying to get your werewolf man.
Excuse me now, 111. I can't get a lift to the Halloween party.
I need my makeup.
Robin, anything else in the news?
Halloween is tonight, and it's a fun holiday for kids, but parents need to remember a few tips to keep their kids safe. Janet Brooks with Safe Kids Utah urges safety on the streets, asking drivers to be especially mindful of trick-or-treaters crossing the road.
I can't believe anybody lets their kids trick-or-treat anymore. It's so fucking dangerous.
Yeah, do those masks still work so poorly that you really can't see anything when
You can't see a
out
thing.
there?
You have no peripheral vision. It's awful.
Really, you are sort of like a sitting duck on the road.
Yeah.
Other tips for parents to follow are to make sure costumes are flame resistant, fit properly to prevent tripping, and to use reflective tape on both the outfits and treat bags so kids can be seen. Parents should also check over all treats for any signs of tampering before letting their kids eat them.
A flame-resistant costume. Most people don't go to the store and buy, They just like dress up in like some clothes, and then you go to some asshole's house, you got a bunch of pumpkins with candles in them, and your kid's on fire. Stay home. There's a million things that are going to go wrong. It's inevitable.
A lot of people have gone to parties because you can't trust to have your kids out there on the road.
I like flame-resistant costume. Make sure your child's in a flame-resistant. I'll put him in an asbestos outfit. I mean, what are you doing already with this Halloween? It's enough.
I know. When you've got to take all those precautions, isn't it a sign that maybe we shouldn't be doing this?
And Richard's so fucking retarded that, I went into his office to take some photographs of him the other day, and he's got, pumpkin candles burning and pumpkin shit hanging up in the office.
Right, he's the very one who's going to light a kid on fire.
Yeah. Less pumpkins and more work back there.
By the way, he said he was going to get a pumpkin scrub this weekend. You know, he even does the whole spa thing.
That's nothing. He
with pumpkins.
So Richard, I guess, goes to a party every year, so he gets professional makeup done. But, of course, he lives in New York, and there's no one who can do his professional makeup. He has to go to, like, fucking Poughkeepsie or something. I don't know, or somewhere upstate New York.
Yeah?
Yeah, and then so it was snowing. You know, they were calling for snow on Saturday.
Right.
So him and his wife get on the train, and they go all the way upstate to get that stupid makeup that they get.
Uh-huh.
And then he gets caught. None of the trains are running because it's snowing so bad.
So he's stuck.
He's stuck. He called 911.
Stop it.
Yeah, no, I'm not kidding. He called 911 for a ride or something, or he didn't know what to do.
Oh, my goodness. He's as bad as that guy I just played.
Yeah, but he's like those retards who go, like people who stay in Miami Beach on the ocean, and they say you have to evacuate, and then they stay, and then you have to go rescue them. He knows it's going to snow.
There's no reason to rescue him from Poughkeepsie. Find a hotel room.
Of course. Richard, where did you go to get your makeup? Like, this is, by the way, he's 40-something years old. This was what all the fuss was about, so he could look like this.
That isn't even that good.
I mean, the makeup's not even that great. I mean, it's fine.
It's okay, but who cares? You could get that done. You could do it yourself.
Hey, that's the most important. It's the most important day of the year for me.
Where did you go to get the makeup?
Mayo Pack. It's like in Westchester.
And you what? The snow came down so heavily you couldn't get a train.
Yeah,
you called 911.
Well, we got dropped off at the train station in full makeup. We looked crazy.
Yeah.
And we waited for about 2 hours for the Metro North, and then there was a big announcement: all train service suspended. And we thought it was going to be like the Donner Party, like we were going to have to start eating each other because we didn't know how to get out of there.
Dude, you're in Mayo Pack. It's not you know, like
there are
some
cabs.
remote.
There are all kinds of things.
We called every cab.
It was snowing too heavy.
Yeah, it was snow. They wouldn't even go leave to give us a ride to a hotel.
So what did 911 do?
They were going to send an MTA truck to pick us up.
And what happened?
Well, we finally got a hold of the makeup guy, and luckily his brother, thank God, had a four-wheel drive truck and was able to give us a ride to White Plains to catch the only
you
train.
Believe this guy for this stupid makeup?
How much do you pay for that?
And who are you supposed to be with that makeup? Who
the
is
Wolfman.
That? Oh, that's Wolfman?
Yeah.
Is that who you are?
And who's your wife, Little Red Riding Hood?
Yeah, she's like the victim, Little Red Riding Hood, after she was attacked.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Glad you told me.
It took us like 6 hours to get from there back to our home. We were exhausted.
How long does the makeup take?
A couple hours to do.
And what do you do with the makeup? Like
now you're all dressed up. Where do you go?
Yeah.
Well, we went to a costume party, but we were so exhausted from our ordeal that we only stayed for a little bit.
That's what I figured.
Like after all that, we were just too burned out.
Halloween got ruined.
There's nobody in New York who does makeup.
It's hard. It's hard to find people.
No, in Manhattan, no one does that.
Not this good. This is my buddy. He does this for movies.
Dude, Manhattan is got the greatest makeup artist in the world. I got to believe someone in Manhattan can do that.
Well, this guy today, he's doing Good Morning America's makeup.
Oh, yeah?
He's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, but I bet you they didn't go to see him in Mayo Pack.
What do you pay him for that?
I gave him like $140.
That's it?
That's the cash I had on me, but I'm going to send him some more.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got to send him the werewolf hands back, too. He loaned those to me.
Real good.
Yeah. He's awesome, though. He did a vampire movie called Stakeland that you guys should see. It's
I'll run
awesome.
right out. Okay.
Richard.
Yes?
Come on, man. You don't think you overreacted a little bit?
Well, we were worried. It was just us and 3 Mexican migrant workers at the station, and they didn't even speak English, so we didn't know what to do. We couldn't go anywhere.
Did you give them a ride to White Plains as well?
No.
Real
we
nice
didn't, because my friend came in a truck, and it's like it'd be too dangerous for them to ride in the back of the truck, so I think
You don't think a couple of migrant workers...
They were on the
been in
phone
back
with
the truck
friends of
before?
theirs speaking Spanish, so I'm assuming they got a ride.
But really, you know that 911 is for actual emergencies. This doesn't constitute an emergency.
Well, you know, we tried to call Metro North, and the line, nobody would answer. And somebody told us before they left the station, they said call 911. Or the cab company said call 911, and they'll send MTA out to get you guys. So we would have called MTA directly, but they wouldn't answer. So
All in the name of Halloween. So now that it's all over with, Halloween is today. Do you feel like you just missed out on a golden opportunity? You had this great makeup, you had a costume party to go to, but you were too burnt out by the time you...
Well, we still got to go at least. We could have been, had our own little two-person costume party at the train station that night and froze to death. So I'm glad we at least made the costume party.
But as far as your Halloween dreams go, I feel that they were sort of shattered.
Yeah, Mother Nature can be a real bitch sometimes, and I'm very angry that she fucked up Halloween a little bit. And Mother Nature, that bitch.
She is. She's a fickle bitch.
She could have had it snow on November 1st, and it would have been totally fine, but to do it before Halloween is unforgivable.
Kind of like waking up on Christmas morning and realizing you didn't get the toy you wanted.
Yeah, or like this fucking Mother Nature, she always pisses me off. Last year, she fucked me over too, because she made a blizzard the day after Christmas. Not on Christmas. We couldn't have a white Christmas. She had it the day after. That's like saying to me, fuck you and your white Christmas. I'm going to make it white on December 26th.
What a biznatch.
She is a total... I love global warming. Fuck her. Fuck Mother Nature.
Great cans.
I'm going to go use a bunch of hairspray right now just to piss her off.
Hell of a body, though.
Yeah. I'm going to throw all my plastic in the garbage, not recycle. Fuck Al Gore. Fuck Mother Nature. Halloween rules.
How about throwing some of them soda rings into the ocean, too?
Exactly.
Catch a couple fish.
Get some dolphins' noses bound up by those fucking goddamn soda
I'm
rings.
going to start eating tuna that isn't dolphin friendly.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to burn some rubber tires out in my yard, Fuck Mother Nature, that bitch.
I'll learn that, broad.
I'll teach you, bitch.
I'll learn her well. I mean, good.
Teach you not to make it snow on my favorite fucking holiday, you fucking biatch.
You said it, sir. I think we all learned something from your ordeal today.
I think we learned that I'm an idiot.
And I am as well. Happy Halloween, sir.
Happy Halloween.
Jackie the Joke Man Martling was on Superfan Roundtable. Wow. I heard his interview. Mutt did a great interview with Jackie, and Jackie was just, again, talking about his contract negotiation and why he isn't with the show. And
this is hysterical.
I mean, look, they were asking him about it.
Yeah, but I mean...
But it's all it's so misguided.
Why would you even continue to talk about it?
See, if I play it, you're going to get all worked up, as I did when I heard it, but... Because you're going to start arguing with a piece of tape.
Well, work me up.
All right.
I love Jackie Logic.
All right, but okay. I'll stop it when I need to correct something.
All right.
Or at least give my interpretation. You want to get worked up?
I know it's going to happen. I always think that I'm over it. But he'll get to me, I'm sure.
But you know what the funny thing is? We are over it. I don't spend any time in the day going,
thinking about it.
Jackie was back here, but you know what? It actually made me sad when I heard this because he's his own worst enemy. Because he still, to this day, doesn't understand what he did.
Thank God.
To his own career.
And thank God we don't take him back.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because this would go on again.
It would. Robin... It's been 10 or 15 years. He hasn't learned a thing. It's so clear to me.
That's the beauty of Jackie.
He hasn't. I don't know if he's in therapy. I don't know what he does, but he has not figured it out. And that's my point. People don't change.
Well, some people do, but not Jackie.
Okay, fair enough. Here we go.
Well, Howard would say that you just didn't show up one day and left him hanging, and then you didn't have you.
By the way, just so Mutt knows, I would never say that.
There for months.
But every time that I was out negotiating.
Out negotiating.
You know, I said to Gary when I heard this, I called him up. I said, how is it that me, Robin, Fred, you, how is it we managed?
We all had to negotiate.
We all had to negotiate, whether it was with Mel directly or, through Don or
Tom,
or whatever. But how is it we all ended up never missing a day of work, even with our negotiations, quote unquote? Jackie always had to leave.
Yeah.
Sometimes for weeks. And to me, it always felt like, hey, I can walk away, you guys carry on, and when I'm done negotiating, just how did we all manage to get a contract without walking out the door?
But by the same token, it wasn't that he left us hanging.
Yeah.
It was that we didn't know he wasn't showing up.
Mutt said we'd get all worked up again when we heard this. He knows. He listens.
They did the same thing. And I've said this on the air so many millions of times,
Well,
but
listen.
nobody wants to hear it. I didn't do that. I would never have done that. For all anybody can break my balls, I'm a professional guy. We were trying to negotiate. Then my lawyer didn't hear back from Tom for 2 months. So we had a meeting with Tom, and we went in, and my lawyer said, listen.
First of all, they didn't hear back from Tom for 2 months because I was very aware of what was going on. He said, Jackie and your lawyer, this is the final offer. And it was a very, very healthy offer. More than I think most guys in radio would drop dead if they saw this offer. And they said, Jackie, this is it. Either you take it or leave it. We can't keep going on, or we have to move forward and find somebody new.
Now, I don't understand. Is he still working or is he not working?
He's not working.
Okay.
He's negotiating. So they told him that, and Jackie and his lawyer kind of laughed it off like, ha, 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 sure.
Okay, and did
2
they
months
make
later,
some counteroffer?
No. 2 months later, 2 months later, it was over. In other words, Jackie was like, okay, I'll come back. And it was like, no, you don't understand. We meant it.
He took 2 months to think about it.
Yeah, 2 months.
We're totally at loggerheads. You guys aren't coming back at us. We're not going back. So this was on a Wednesday. He said, so Jackie's not going to come in on Monday. And Tom said, I think you're making a mistake. And Larry said, I think you're making a mistake.
Yep, who was
He said,
right?
all right, but he's not going to be there Monday. And I said, Tom.
Where's Larry now?
Now you make sure you tell Howard, make sure everybody knows.
But Howard says you didn't call him.
No, by the way, if I did say that, I don't care about
No.
Jackie calling me.
This is all getting confused.
Yeah.
Jackie did this every year for a number of years and never told us he was not coming in.
Right.
This last time, maybe he had a lawyer who called.
Right.
That's what he's upset about. That
By the way, I'm not upset about it. I'm not upset about any of this. Jackie leaving has been absolutely fine. I'm much happier now. I couldn't take the constant problems and the constant out back in the back office getting everyone charged up.
And
It's
all
fine.
of a sudden, he's professional.
Right. Oh, he's the most professional.
You missed that one phone call.
What?
You told Tom, but you didn't tell Howard.
This is they got you coming and they got you going. Howard he said over and over and over, I want nothing to do with negotiations.
That's
I
true.
don't want to know money. I don't want to know negotiations. It's all up to everybody to do their own deal. Leave me out of it.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I should call him and say, hey, not for like.
Meanwhile, every deal he did, he called me, and I had to step in and carry on. And he always tried to get me to agent for him. He's full of shit.
Would it be
as much as I wanted not to be involved with Jackie?
He
had
always
to.
involved you.
He sucked me in every time.
Not a threatening phone call or a heads up. Tom said, yeah, Tom,
Jackie won't admit one thing. He left the show thinking Howard's going to fucking crumble without me. I
Right,
said to
and
him,
he was waiting for 2 months for you to call
And
and
beg
ask
him.
him to come back.
Right. And it was never going to happen. Jackie was an asset to the show. I had assessed the
Well,
situation.
he was an acid to the show?
An asset.
Asshole to the show?
No, he was an asset to the show, but at some point it became detrimental to the show. And that's it. He over-evaluated. He overvalued himself. That's all. He was valuable, but not irreplaceable. That's the problem with Jackie.
Howard will absolutely know you're not going to be there. And then, they said that all of a sudden Howard says, "Where's Jackie today?" And Robin said, "Oh, he left you high and dry again." Yeah, you know how he is. He just,
Well, when Fred-
they made it sound like I just didn't show up, and I would never do that much, and I didn't do it the time before, and I didn't do it the time. And there's still millions of fans that are angry at me for leaving Howard high and dry, which I didn't do. And
It's okay.
of
That's
course I
the way
thought about
they tell it. When even just recently, about a year ago, Robin
But
and
how do you
Fred,
see it?
Robin and Fred get real emotional about it. Like, you fucked over the show. You left the show. You guys were a team. They really they take it personally. It seems like.
But how can they? I asked for more money and they said no.
I don't take it
if you're
personally.
working at a business and you ask for a raise and they say no and you stop working there, it's not because you
Yeah,
don't.
explain that.
I don't take it personally.
Nobody does. It's just amazing to us that he's the only one that could leave for months at a time with
And
his
then come
negotiations.
back. Why come back?
Right. We were resentful that we had to sit there and hold ship. Don't forget, I have a way of operating. The budget that Jackie took up, I needed to spend it on someone else. At some point, I had to say, enough with this guy.
But remember the time he didn't show up, and then we were starting to get used to not work, and then all of a sudden he did show up?
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like, well, what are you doing here
Yeah, now he's here.
now? You want us now?
I was never ungrateful. I didn't ask for more. You know the whole story.
Sure.
I didn't ask for a crazy amount of money. And then after a couple months, I said, you know what? I don't want this to break up. I'll take what the offer was. And they said, and it was too late.
2 months later, and 2 months of him finally realizing he wasn't getting more money. He got a huge offer, huge raise offer, which he doesn't think is huge, but go ask any guy on radio. By the way, has Jackie made anywhere near that kind of money since he left? No. I would love to compare his last year with us and all the years subsequent to that, or whatever, all the years after that.
Subsequent would be.
Was that right? Yeah. Didn't sound right to me. Anyway, so I don't know. You want to hear more?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me go through the whole thing.
All right. Here we go.
And that's my fault. But that was only 2 months after I left. So
only 2 months.
Yeah, only 2 months.
What's 2 months?
He could have very easily. And now I'll get in trouble for this, but kept the Beatles together. But
the Beatles are together, dude.
And all, at the time I was beaten, I was tired, and I feel bad that I wound up off the show, but it was like, I rolled the dice. What the fuck? I rolled the dice, but all I did was ask for more money. They said no, and I left. That is not a crime.
No one thinks it is.
The coming back was the crime.
Yeah. Leave us alone. Stop using us. Go write for someone else if you can.
Right.
You talk about hurt. When I called Howard and Tom, and my lawyer called Tom.
His lawyer. That lawyer was the greatest. Lawyer was like, we're going to teach Mel Karmazin how to negotiate. And he was like, what? What are you doing?
Are they still teaching him, or is the lesson finished?
So which Beatle exactly was Jackie supposed to be? Because to me, he's feeling like Pete Best right now.
Yeah.
I think he thought he was...
or the guy who died.
Yeah, I think he thought he was Paul McCartney.
2 months when I had been off and said, listen, we'll take the offer that's on the table. I said, all right, we'll consider it.
Maybe he should have looked at it not as the Beatles, where everyone was sort of equal. Maybe he should have looked at it more like...
Well, he was like...
Saturday Night Live, where a bunch of people write.
What was one of those guys who joined the Rolling Stone and then would leave the Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
Because the Rolling Stones were the Rolling Stones, and then every once in a while they'd hire some guy.
Right. Yeah, like when you're saying when Brian Jones died in the pool.
Yeah.
They brought in a different guy.
Yeah, Mick Taylor.
Yeah, Mick Taylor. And then Mick Taylor left, and
they brought in Ron Wood.
Right.
Get back to you. I really thought they'd at least call back and say, thanks, but no thanks. And
how many? They called 900 times. It was over.
No, they had a period of negotiation. The period ended. Jackie left, and that was that.
Yeah, how long can it go on? How long can you negotiate? What is this? What is he, a labor union?
They never called
You're
back.
waiting for the call still?
Which is kind of rude. You know, I mean, maybe I didn't deserve it, but, who knows?
Oh, my. There were 20 million calls exchanged, and then finally it was just, all
And
right.
that you didn't listen when they said this is it. It's
Well,
not their fault.
It's real simple. Tom came to me and said, I've told Jackie that's it. He goes, do you agree? I go, absolutely. He told me the offer. I said, it sounds fantastic. It sounds like you're being very generous. You're certainly not cheaping out on the guy. I think he thinks he's me. And, I'm the star of the show. He's a writer on the show. And that's it. And Tom said to me, this is the final offer. We're not prepared to offer him anymore. If you want to pay him, go ahead. I go, no, this is more than enough. He's making a ton of dough. And that's it. We can't negotiate. We're going to go start looking for someone else.
And nobody wanted to go through this again.
No, that was the point. But he doesn't get it. He still thinks no one called him back. They told him final offer, but he was used to like, oh, they've said that before.
Right.
When I first started the show, Howard said, hey, I got great news for you.
Oh, this is great.
Oh, boy. Here we go. What is he going to say now?
This is totally
This is a new
wrong.
wrinkle.
This is Jackie talking about how we are all represented by Don Buchwald, but he wasn't.
Truck to tail.
Right. I'll give you the truth about what really went down, but here's Jackie's version. Hey, Gary.
I want to back you up on this one because this one made me really.
Yeah, this is crazy.
This got you upset.
Yeah, this got me nuts.
And it's got nothing to do with me. I just happened to be there for a conversation Howard had.
When I first started the show, Howard said, hey, I got great news for you. Don's going to represent you if you want him.
I never said to him, I've got great news for you. Here's the truth. Then you can listen to this. Jackie was being represented by his wife. Things were going horribly. Mel wanted nothing to do with Jackie. He said to me, I don't want anything to do with this guy and his wife.
He was supposed to talk to his wife?
That's how bad things were.
Uh-huh. And he was talking to his wife.
I don't know who he was talking
Oh,
to,
my God.
but I don't know. Things were just going wrong, and the company was getting rubbed the wrong way by Jackie.
Uh-huh.
Even when people want more money, I guess there's a certain way of doing things. I suggested to Jackie maybe not use his wife as an agent. And he said, no, my wife's not my agent, my manager. I said, look, you got to get somebody. If you would like, I'll call Don Buchwald. If you'd like that. I never said, hey, good news.
Right.
No, I didn't care who represented Jackie. As long as he got somebody
who wouldn't screw up things for him.
who wouldn't make management go, we want this guy out. Like, they were like, listen.
Because there was a general attitude from that negotiation on
They didn't
that
like
nobody
Jackie.
wanted Jackie around.
Yeah. And I'm not even blaming his wife, Nancy, because you know what? Now that I
She's
think
not
about
a
it.
manager.
No, by the way, I don't think she was talking about
She wasn't. She wasn't.
She wasn't. What was happening was, if I remember correctly, and I forget how it happened, but maybe Jackie and Mel were dealing directly with each other.
Uh-huh.
But Mel was kind of like, and Tom and everyone, not just Mel, everyone just came to me privately and said, look, we don't like this guy.
Right.
We think he's bad news. I said, he's a nice guy. They go, for whatever reason, he's coming off horribly, just as a human being. I said, okay. So I went to Jackie. I said, maybe it shouldn't be you doing things.
Right.
Maybe you should get somebody. I said, if you want, I'll call Don Buchwald. I need to. Good news, Jackie. By the way, Don was not looking to represent Jackie. Don's business is done just fine without Jackie. There's not a whole lot of money in the Jackie business for Don.
There really is, by the way, in any negotiation, when the person goes in to represent themselves, it just
Right.
never works because you need somebody to be a buffer.
Right.
Because you can't say, well, when you say, listen, this is what I'm worth, people look at you a different way. So you just suggested to Jackie, in general, maybe it's not the best idea you represent yourself.
That's what it was. It wasn't his wife.
Well, she was representing him in the comedy circuit. That was a whole other-
which was fine. And I didn't care, but I just said to him, maybe you need to get advice from a professional.
But I know you said, get anybody if you'd like, because I was there. If you'd like, I would introduce
You
you,
were
to
there
Don.
in the room.
Yeah, introduce is not, I can get Don to represent you.
No, but Jackie's saying that Howard said, good news, Don's going to represent
Yeah,
you, as
right,
if you were pushing it.
Yeah.
And
Conspiracy
Jackie always had this
conspiracy
theory
listen.
of collusion.
Here you go. Listen to this.
And I said no, because it didn't make sense to me that if They're going to pay Howard, and then they're going to pay Robin, and they're going to pay Fred. So I'm going to be the fourth bird in line for a worm. It seems like, how could you, you know...
Yeah, but see, that
it didn't seem.
I
Didn't
look
seem
at you
comfortable.
the way you did it. I look at you as fourth bird in the line. Whereas if you'd have been with Team Don, it would have been Howard and then the three of you. Like I always wondered why you weren't just part of that, so you didn't have to do your own negotiating. Were you worried he wouldn't take care of you the way you could yourself?
It just didn't. It seemed weird. You know, he'd be negotiating with himself. Don, it just didn't. You know, my cousin.
How would Don be negotiating by?
You know what I love?
I know
the
why.
First
I know.
statement, wait a minute. The first statement is, I didn't think.
Yeah.
Now, all of his thoughts have
Right.
led to this.
Yeah, all of his thoughts led to ultimately him being out of work.
And he's still standing by them.
Yeah, he loves it. He doesn't do any self-examination.
I know the answer, by the
Almost
way.
a pro ball player, and he said that an agent in baseball can't represent more than one agent, or more than one player on a team.
Have you ever heard of that before? That's bullshit.
No.
There are agents who represent many.
There's some agents who have almost the entire league locked up.
Scott Boras has everybody.
Baseball, an agent can't represent more than Well, first of all, this isn't baseball. Baseball is like a monopoly. This is the real world.
Jackie's taking advice from a guy who almost got into baseball.
Yeah, right. My cousin. Did you hear what he said?
It was his cousin who told him this?
Wait, you got to hear this. My cousin. He's always getting advice from
Almost got in.
My cousin almost got into baseball.
He's like...
He said... Yeah, wait,
He's
I get
like
back to
Richard's
it.
dad.
You can't say, hey, you
Right.
can have mud on shortstop.
Right.
More than one agent. Also pro. Don, it just didn't. You know, my cousin was almost a pro ball player, and he
Almost.
Never got there.
Look where he gets advice.
But he knows.
He gets advice from his cousin, from his uncle, never from a professional.
Yeah, none of these people have been in
Right.
show business.
And by the way, his cousin's wrong. Maybe that's why he almost got into baseball.
He said that an agent in baseball can't represent more than one agent.
Maybe you should have called the baseball player and found out if that was true.
More than one player on a team. Because you can't say, hey, you can have mud on shortstop, but you got to take Jackie on first base. You know, it's like...
Okay, give Howard the money we need, but you could take it out of Jackie's pocket.
Exactly. Exactly.
Jackie's got a pocket.
Jackie has no pocket.
What I was going to say is that part of the conspiracy theory, which I'd heard several times, you know, when we get drunk and I'd be
He'd start.
Jackie'd be sitting there and John would be sitting there and I'd be sitting there, was that somehow I got to remember this correctly. I want to get it right. That somehow a big pot of money was given to Don to distribute any way he wanted to everybody, so that if he were part of Team Don, you were going to get the biggest part of the pot, and then everybody else was going to get a
And
little bit
he'd
less.
be the fourth to dip into
So
the pot.
let's say that's true. Let's say that's true, which it's not, because Don would go in and negotiate. But forget that. I don't care who represents him. What do I give a shit? Just get someone
It
professional.
doesn't mean
so it's
anything
not you.
to you. You're not getting any money out of the deal.
No, it just so I was like, Jackie, just get someone other than yourself. I remember he used to walk in by himself and rub everyone the wrong way.
And he didn't realize that he had done that.
Right. An agent has a certain finesse where he's not going to sit there and, Jackie could have played the good guy while the agent was the bad guy.
Well, the problem was Jackie never got the right representation anyway.
Oh, here's a guy who says enough talking about Jackie. We've heard it. Okay. Maybe he's right. Maybe he's right. I love listening.
It means a lot to us.
We
Yeah, we
enjoy
love
it.
Too much Jackie talk. Okay, fine. You want to hear how Jackie wasn't invited to my wedding? You haven't heard that before.
Oh, come on.
All right, wait.
Let's hear
Whether they
this.
rag at me or whatever they do, there is something going on. If it's 10 years, it's not a month ago. It's not 3 years ago. It's 10 years ago. That's a long time. And like you say, from the response, from the feedback I get from people, it's as fresh as it happened yesterday.
He does. He still is like emotional, and it comes up again and again. And
But he
fans all
can't be
know
mad
the
at me
story.
because I
I'm
didn't
not.
do. And Dominic Barber called me up and said, I don't understand, Howard. You didn't do anything wrong.
Is
And
it
I
some
didn't-
sort of grudge? Like, what is he just trying to prove that he's right and you're wrong?
I don't know. People say, I don't care, but so many people say, how could you be friends with a guy for 18 years and work side by side with him for 15 years, being half of his brain and not be invited to his wedding?
He was half
You
of my
were
brain.
half of his.
Yeah.
Oh, you never told me he was half of your brain.
Well, that's the other Jackie thing. What really drove him, he didn't feel he got any credit. I don't know. And he was constantly announcing which jokes he wrote. And like, first of all, you watch the Academy Awards when Billy Crystal would come out or something. He doesn't stop after each joke and go, by the way, the writer of that joke was. That's what Jackie wanted. Like if Jackie thought up something, he wanted full credit on the air. That was what the laugh was. You know, it was crazy.
He was half your brain.
Half my brain. So that means I only own half of my mind when Jackie's in the room.
How did you do this all without him for some reason?
I don't know. Maybe he should realize he's a writer on a show. He's not half my brain.
The other thing about him, and that's why I made the Rolling Stone analogy, Jackie wasn't here at the beginning. He didn't meet you and create a show.
Well, in his mind, he rewrote history. He made me successful.
You were already doing this.
I know.
And I said, listen, I got no problem with that, but I don't know if that was just, like, of course you wouldn't be invited, but at some point, all bets should be off when it comes to a funeral or,
Jackie's nuts.
So he expected to be invited to the wedding?
I hadn't socialized with Jackie in 15 years. He doesn't know Beth at all. I hadn't seen him, I don't know. I mean, I'm not friendly with Jackie. I like Jackie a lot. We were good friends when he worked here, and I would hang out with him. But after he left, we didn't party.
I'm trying to think of anybody who would be equivalent to Jackie who was there.
No. I mean, I don't hang out with Jackie. I don't socialize with Jackie. Quite frankly, I don't socialize with a lot of people, but I'd see him at work.
No, I'm just someone you just never talk to again for a certain amount of time, and then you said, oh, come to my wedding.
Why would I do that?
That sounds reasonable to me.
Well, I guess if he's half my brain, he's half married to Beth.
What, did you turn the lights out on that half? It doesn't even speak to you anymore?
Unbelievable. Anyway, so he was on the...
half your brain. I mean, the things that... See, those are the things that upset me.
Then he had this other whole rap about...
Whenever he tries to take undue credit...
Oh, he never got enough.
This...
Never got enough.
It upset me.
Yeah.
Because to say he's half your brain...
And I guess you, Fred, and Gary are on the other half.
But you have a whole brain.
Right.
You never needed another part.
No, he felt he was half of my brain.
Well, how the hell are we limping along on half a brain?
If we had him back, I'd have my whole brain back.
Thank God.
He's half my brain tumor.
That's right. He's cancer.
Yeah. He's a character. Oh, I mean, it's so great. Then he goes into a rant about Benji being brought in and he wasn't told. And
I've heard him talk about this before, like how, he hated Benji being like over his shoulder.
Yeah.
During one of the best of things, you were interviewed, and you talked about how Benji came in, and I don't know if "threaten's" the right word, but you were hurt or something that they had somebody doing your same
what
job
happened?
right next
and nothing
to
to
you.
do with Benji, because the way that I got to do anything is, this is show business or whatever business. You do what you want to do, and the kid wanted to write, but they just told me one day, hey, Benji's going to sit in with you, and. It's like, imagine if Robin's sitting there and there was somebody sitting next to Robin and say, no, do this.
Bad analogy, dude. On shows, there's many writers, but there's not multiple news people coming in. And I mean, what did he think he was? He's a writer on the show. Fred's a writer on the show. And now Benji's a writer on the show.
Yeah, Fred had to accept that Jackie was there.
Jackie decided that I had enough writing. I didn't need any more.
Once you got him, you didn't need any more.
No.
Well, he was the traffic cop.
News story instead. No, do this. And of course, every news story they're going to give her is going to be great. But she already had it covered. Like, I already had the writing covered, and between me and Fred, we had it covered.
He had the writing covered.
Oh, my God.
Maybe I didn't think you had the writing covered, my half a brain.
No, see, half your brain knew.
Yeah. Maybe I didn't think it was enough. What do you care?
Your two sides of your brain are fighting with each other.
It was just weird that I'm sitting there. It's like, it's none of my business, not my show. Of course, if Howard wants another writer...
But you're half my brain. It sounds like you are. It is your show.
He had it covered.
Right.
Of course, it's not my say, but it was a little odd.
But wasn't Fred already doing that as well?
Yeah. So picture this. I'm sitting there, and Howard's talking, and he says something. I think it's something funny for him to say. And I write, as I'm writing it down, now I got to read. I write it, but I got to read what Fred...
Wah. Wow, sorry, your job's
So
so
you
hard.
have to work. It's
Yeah.
a job,
too
and
much.
you have to work.
It's too much.
Wrote, then I'm reading what Benji wrote and decide which, so sometimes I just write something and put it up, and I wouldn't. Yeah, it was too much. It was, if somebody hands you 3 cupcakes, you can only eat 1. You know what I mean? It's like it was too much. Very often, what Benji wrote was so funny and it was great, but it was overkill. I thought it was overkill.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
It was overkill for him.
It was too funny.
Too funny. Too much fun. Anyway, the Jackie saga on Mutt Superfan Roundtable.
Wow.
And I don't know. Then there was a whole thing about Jackie, Nancy, the apology to Nancy. It was very entertaining, quite frankly, but it got me really worked up because it's
I'm
upsetting me.
fascinated
Yeah.
by the workings of his mind.
It upsets me that he just is his own worst enemy. He'd still be sitting here if he just kind of mellowed out, figured out what was going on, and kind of saw his position in the right way. I said to him, listen, you're not the show, but you're an important part of the show, and you're being compensated. You got a great life. You're going to make a ton of dough for the next 5 years. Just sign up.
He never enjoyed this for a moment.
Never.
It was a burden. It wasn't enough. He didn't get the acknowledgement he needed. So it's better that he's away.
Right. Oh, it's so silly. Mutt got everyone going, though. He's good, Mutt. I like that show. Superfan Roundtable. Still think it's one of the best shows on the channel.
Well, they should have Jackie every week.
Yeah, it's great. Always great. And then his marriage to Nancy because the bathtub incident with Jessica Hahn.
Oh, that ruined the marriage?
Well, no, they were supposed to go on vacation. Nancy said no because of what happened with Jessica Hahn.
Oh, they didn't make a vacation because of that?
Yeah.
My wife had absolutely nothing to do with what I said that day. We went to I called up our marriage therapist who was trying to save our marriage 10 minutes after we got married. And she said, if you want to save your marriage, we were supposed to leave the next day to go to Europe. Her sister was getting married in France, and we're going to Venice. We're going to have the greatest vacation in the world. And she said, I ain't going no fucking Europe. I ain't going to. And Emily was our marriage counselor, and she said, Jackie, do whatever you can do to get her on that plane, and 100 miles into the trip, this will all melt away. So what can I do? And she was so pissed. I said, you know what? I'm just going to. I figured what we did was nothing. But Howard made it sound like there was a full-scale orgy went on in that bed. We were in the bathtub 10 seconds, right? But, his genius is to take something and make them, So she didn't hear it. So she heard the version of 20 of her friends
relaying the message.
So not only did Howard pile it on, then they piled. So, I had both thumbs up, Jessica Hahn's asshole, So she was so mad. So I figured the right thing to do is if the word got around to her about that, if I go in and apologize, maybe there's cocksucking friend.
I like that he had to apologize on the air. Yeah, So, quite frankly, just to make it clear, Nancy was not the problem negotiating with Mel and Tom.
I don't know anything.
That was, it was. Now that I think about it, it was Jackie going in himself.
I just remember that he was not liked after the very first negotiation.
That I remember. It went really, and I just said to him, it might be a good idea if you didn't do this yourself because they're getting the wrong impression of you. They don't like you. He was, fuck everyone, I don't care. And I was like, it's not good to have management feel that way. You might need professional representation. Would you like me to call my agent? That was all. I didn't even know if my agent would represent him, quite frankly. Because one thing I know about Don, if he doesn't like someone, he won't represent him. Because he doesn't want to...
And if he can't talk to a person,
right,
he's not going to represent them.
Yeah, you don't want the aggravation. All right, Bobo, you're up.
Hey, how you doing, Howard?
Yes.
Let me weigh in on this. First of all, wouldn't you want to do what it takes to negotiate within the means of the show to keep everybody working together?
Well, I did say to him, you ought to check around in the industry and see what people are making. And
yeah, I mean, like you said, flying on a private jet, that just doesn't happen in the radio world.
It doesn't.
Okay,
right.
And let me ask you something else, too. You think because he branded himself, that's the key word, as head writer, you think it went to his head?
Well, that was the other thing, too. He insisted on a title, head writer. And like, the only other writer was Fred.
And then when Benji came along, he complained that there was too much to do being the head writer.
He didn't want to be, so I said, let Fred be the head writer. And even I said to Fred, I go, do you mind if Jackie calls himself head writer? Fred was like, no, if it keeps the show together, why not? But I mean, quite frankly, Fred is if not as much responsible for the success of the show as any one of us. I mean, Fred was gracious about it. He goes, "Listen, I don't care about a title." Well, he said, "I don't care about a title. I don't even know what he's carrying on. But if he wants to be a head writer, fine."
That's great.
I think that Fred's a quiet guy.
Right.
And he's not much for rocking the boat. But I think that he was probably a little hurt by it, and he just didn't want to make waves.
Not hurt, annoyed.
Right.
Yeah. But Fred's like, hey, I'm a fucking writer.
Well, it was just so silly. I mean, how do you have a head writer?
It's two people.
If anything, I'm the head writer.
That's what I would always
Yeah.
say. You are the head writer, and Jackie hands you what everybody else writes.
All right.
That's really a bold move to be working with one other person. But
that's
Jackie. And saying, I want to be the head writer.
And think nothing of it.
that's why-
and he just arrived.
The title head writer.
And then when Benji
was
wanted to come
irrelevant.
in, which would make it a bigger position, he rejected it.
Right, I was gonna say,
But being head writer is irrelevant on a show like this because it's only two guys sitting here, basically. And but it was really important to him. He just had a chip on his shoulder that he felt absolutely
it was
negated as a human being if he didn't have
a
this title. And he wanted everyone to know that he was better than, I guess, Fred. I don't know.
I think that, in his mind, he was Larry David,
Right.
your Jerry
No,
Seinfeld.
he wanted to be like Dick Van Dyke, and Fred was like Maury Amsterdam. That's how
But
he
I'm
was.
just saying, in terms of what Jackie actually thought he was Larry David.
But here's the weird move about the head writer thing, too, Howard. That was a negotiation with the Channel 9 show for Jackie to get the physical credit when the credits rolled.
Yeah, because...
And then he just moved it over here, but
Yeah.
we never said he was a head writer here.
He wanted Hollywood to recognize that he was head writer because he was going to be punching up scripts.
But there was no credit on the radio show that said you were head writer. He just took it from the TV show and moved it over.
It was
But did
fine.
he ever sit down with Fred and ask him about that?
No, listen, we didn't care because it was funny to us. I mean, the guy wanted to be head writer on our show. We were like, well, who else is here writing?
Yeah, I mean, since it really doesn't mean anything, go ahead and call him that.
I was like confused too because when we'd been back in my office writing stuff, I'd go, gee, am I supposed to check in with Jackie to make sure that to the head writer? I don't know. What do I do? All right, Bobo, thank you. There it is. Bobo needs to get on the air every day. Now he feels good.
He can have a good day. He can sit and watch the water and be happy.
Yes. Here's Jimmy who says we talk enough about Jackie. I'm sorry, we got sucked in, Jimmy. It's
Howard,
Jimmy, it's Mutt's fault. He had him on Superfan Roundtable. It's not our
We
fault.
had tape.
Howard, you're not going to find a bigger super fan than me. I've been following you for 20-plus years. I tape the show every day,
Thank
blah,
you.
blah, blah. Now, but I want to tell you something about Jackie. 2 weeks after that whole debacle when he left, right before he was going to leave the final time, I emailed him. And what wound up happening was I said to him, Jackie, what the fuck are you thinking? I said something to that effect. And I said, you're on the best radio show, the most greatest marketing tool for your career. What are you thinking walking away from that show? And I couldn't believe it. His response simply was, great email. And he never said anything after that, which was, you don't know what the hell's going on in this guy's mind.
I thought you didn't want to talk about Jackie. You're talking about him more than I am.
No. Here's the thing. My wife, we're spending all this money on how. That's my
Thank you.
wife. All right. My wife got. She said, "Why is he talking about this again?" Frankly, I think it's awesome.
Oh, you see, because of you, I rushed through it.
No. I don't want you to rush it. I think it's awesome, and it's an honor to talk to you. We never call in, and I just didn't. All right.
For all the years. Thank you, Howard. We love you.
That's my wife. I'm sorry.
Is she hot?
Yeah, she is. She's very good looking.
Very nice.
We're married 12 years. But we've been listening to you. I grew up.
Thank you. All right, let's start up the Jackie conversation again. I thought Jimmy. I saw Jimmy's call said stop talking about Jackie, and I was like,
My
oh
wife
fuck.
lit a fire under my ass. She said, why is he talking about that again?
Right.
Frankly, I think it's awesome whenever you talk about it. Can I ask you a question though?
Yes.
First of all, I'm a big Artie fan as well. Do you guys, since Jackie left, I mean, I thought the show really changed, and then when Artie came in, now, do you guys find that it's, with nobody sitting in that chair, that it's a little harder for you to do your thing?
No. I like it. I like just this group that we have now. It's very copacetic, so to speak, and I don't know. I just feel real good about being here, and I don't know. I guess I don't feel like we need anybody. But it could happen again that we get somebody else in
But it's
here.
not hard to do the job.
No, the job's fun. It's a nice groove. You get to sit here and talk, and do some funny stuff.
I think
It's
the
good.
interplay between you and Robin is a lot more into it since Artie left, and we love
Absolutely. I love Artie too.
Well, yeah, we've seen Artie so many times, at his comedy shows up here in Boston, but it's just, it's a totally different vibe. And by the way, Robin, I saw you at Fenway Park when you were in that pedicab.
All right, Jimmy, I got to go. It's enough.
What?
You were in the pedicab. I remember that one. Jimmy, thank you, though, and thank your wife. Very nice words. Anyway, Jackie was on Mutt Show. And in it, I was trying to push Don Buchwald on him. Tom Chiusano, he's still waiting for Tom's call.
Nobody called.
Nobody called him. Well, just to get, let's set this straight once and for all. Here is my version. They called him and said it's a final offer. It had gone on and on and on. And then he thought it was still going on. Like, in other words,
He decided he was going to not come in.
Right.
And they said, well, that'll be it.
Yeah. 2 months later, Jackie woke up and realized he had no job and said, okay, I'll take my job back. And we said, there's no job. I think he was waiting for a final offer. He decided not to sign with Don Buchwald because in baseball, his cousin almost got into baseball and heard that agents can't represent more than one player on the team. That was the advice he got from his cousin, who's almost a baseball player. He was almost a baseball
And just, I love how with authority he says he took the advice of a cousin who was almost in baseball.
He sounds
like,
almost
that's reasonable.
He sounds proud of that. Like, maybe check that out.
Why are you talking to that cousin?
And on top of everything we learned from Mutt Show, he was upset that he wasn't invited to my wedding, which is even more delusional.
That's a surprise because I don't think that had ever been brought up before.
I make a Christmas party every year. I've invited Jackie because he works on the channel. So
And
Jackie,
then he's incredibly uncomfortable
I know
to be around the whole time he's there.
Then I see him at the Christmas party. He goes, "Thank you for inviting me. I thought you didn't even want me. I can't even believe I'm invited." I go, "You work on the channels. Of course you're invited." "I didn't think you wanted me." The whole time. I go, "Well, obviously I want you. You're here." Like it was a mistake that I invited him.
Thank you so much. I'm so glad you invited me. I didn't think you were going to invite me.
Robin, I ever tell you about the time I got a stock tip from my cousin who works at an auto body shop, but he was almost a stockbroker? I mean, it's crazy. He was almost a stockbroker. I'm not kidding. He almost took the test. There was a lot of people giving Jackie advice who shouldn't have been.
Right.
The only person he should have listened to was me. He would have done very well in life. He would have done exceptionally well if he took my advice. I wasn't looking to screw him, and I think he always had this attitude that I was looking to screw him. Somehow I was behind the machinations of screwing Jackie.
Well, why would you do that?
I was only trying to make his life better. I said, I begged him. I said, "Jackie, you've got a great life. Why would you let this explode?" "Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. You'll pay. I'll leave the show. Your whole career will go away."
But,
All right.
Howard, the other thing
If
that's
he was real honest, he'd admit.
crazy about this is that he had left many times before
Yep.
and nothing happened.
Right.
So why did he think that he was going to go on to some career?
I don't know. He always did. He even once said to me, I believe, and I don't know if I have it exactly right, but it was that, if I wasn't here, my career would have been huge.
Right.
like he sacrificed a lot. Like he could have been his own Jackie the Joke Man Martling without me, and he basically was living under my shadow. And if he had just gone off on his own, who knows what would happen?
Somehow or other, people weren't hiring him because he was on this show.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing. They won't let me on the roast. I go, "Why is that?" "Well, honestly, I think it's because I work here."
Yeah.
You mean you're so funny, but they're keeping you off the roast because you work? I would think putting you on the roast would be advantageous if you're so funny. And working here, why would comedians be against you if you work here? "Well, I think some people at the Friars Club, you made fun of them. And they're going to keep me off the dais. Because..." And I'd sit there and I'd roll my eyes because I go, "You know what? he's not that funny on the fucking roast. That's why they're not having him on. We did a roast on Channel 9. He accused me of fixing the audience not to laugh at him.
For years. I don't think he ever believed that we didn't.
Yeah. I didn't get one laugh. I know what you did. Why don't you admit it?
You all got together and you told everybody not to laugh.
I thought I was losing my mind with this guy. This is what I had to deal with. He came back and was like all upset. I know what you did. What Gary got laughs. Everyone there got laughs. Richard Simmons got laughs. I mean, everyone. He got up. It was crickets. And he's the professional comedian.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
so
that was one of the greatest episodes of a comedian dying on stage ever.
And he goes, I know what you did. You sabotaged my performance. You made it so the audience wouldn't laugh.
Well, he was devastated that day, but then he came back in on Monday and he said, all right, you can admit it. We were like, admit what?
Yeah, I mean, that's how he got through it. I was Satan. I was always plotting against him. I go, what are you saying, Jackie? I mean, I didn't get one laugh. I know you rigged the audience. I said, I don't know how to tell you I didn't do anything. No, I know what you did.
You can go ahead and tell me.
And the funny part would be letting me in on the joke.
Wow.
Oh, my God. I had it. I had it.
But there were other times that he had decided to leave and he would send out whatever that packet was.
Yeah.
He would send to
get other jobs.
people he had met on the show.
Right. He would send to Andrew Dice Clay or Sam Kinison a package saying he's now ready to write for them.
Right.
And then
he's going to be available.
And then, I don't know, one of them called me Sam or Dice and go, hey, well, what is this? We got this package from Jackie. I go, what package? They go, well, he says he's ready to write for us. I go, it's fine with me. I don't care who he writes for.
Go nuts.
Go write. I think I just wanted you to know.
And then he had the great line that, well, Jackie, what are you going to do? When we would talk to him about this on the, I could go punch up scripts.
Where? Who's looking for him to punch up a script? I'll be like Babaloo Mandel. He locked into that name. Yeah. I go, Babaloo Mandel writes his own movie scripts, and sometimes they call him in to write. You don't write movie scripts. Yeah, I could do it. But you've never written one. I know I could do it. Hey, Andrew.
Hello, Howard.
Hey, now.
Hey, now. I was just wondering, why did you keep giving Jackie so many chances? I mean, it looks like he drove you nuts.
You know what? I gave him a lot of chances because I'll tell you this. I genuinely thought he was super talented, and also, I really liked the guy. I mean, there was something very simpatico between us. And I liked him, and I really listen. I've improved a lot in my mental health. Back then, I kind of thought, oh my God, he's his own self. He's his own worst enemy. I'm going to save him. I'm going to get through to him because I know what he's walking away from. It was almost like watching a guy commit suicide, and I'd say to myself, if you saw a guy committing suicide, would you jump in and try and help, or would you let him kill himself? And ultimately, I'd always jump in and try and say, life's worth living.
Yeah, but Jackie was the kind of guy who would take you down with him.
Yeah, that's true. If he was drowning, he'd pull you down and go, you're going to. But I didn't see it at the time. I just saw it as like, you know what? He's a talented guy. He's a nice guy. I enjoy his vibe. We had many good times together. And I said, this guy, I really thought of him as a friend. And I said, I have a friend who's a little bit out of it. He doesn't understand that he's got something good going. And, my life, I've always learned if you have something good, really, before you let it go, make sure you understand what you're giving up. So I used to look at Jackie and I'd say, I'm going to get through to this guy. I'm going to put my brain in his head. He says he owned half my brain. I was going to give him half of my brain and go, Jackie, I'm a guy who's been in radio a long time. I've struggled with it. I know what it is to make a living in it. We've got a great situation. You've got Mel Karmazin who's willing to pay you. I mean, he had no idea what he had. I said, you don't know, an opportunity like this doesn't come along all the time. You've got something good. Go with it. Yeah, and it was like watching a guy. If I had been in the room with Artie when he tried to commit suicide, I would have tried to stop him.
Right.
And the same with Jackie. He was committing suicide. I said, I looked at him. I took him on that plane. I said, Jackie, you're eating steak. Jackie loved to.
Oh my
I
God!
said,
Did he love room service?
I said, you're on a plane. You got room service. You're in the best hotels.
Remember the time we walked in and he had ordered 2 of everything?
You're making a bunch of dough. I see over there. You got a newspaper. You're checking your stocks. You're a gentleman. I said, you're hanging around with a bunch of friends who want to suck you down with them. You're listening to too many people. Listen to me. I'm your friend. You got a good situation. You're just trying to get more for yourself. You're trying to trick me. I was the enemy. And I wanted to say to him, you're wrong. You don't understand what I'm saying. I care about you. No, you don't. You don't care about me. My cousin almost got into baseball. No, he doesn't. Yeah.
Jason came to me while you were talking, and you were talking about the roast before. And Jason said, I've always heard Howard talk about the roast, but I've never heard it. Was it that bad? So JD pulled it, and I listened to the first 4 jokes, and it's funny because I remember the day, and again, I don't know if we're getting too far into it, but I remember the day, it was Jackie's big moment.
Right.
And
because he was a roast expert.
And I even said to Jason, I remember that I went out, I got a book of bad, sticky jokes, and that was going to be my rap. I'm going to do bad, sticky jokes. And
you got laughs.
You got great laughs.
I got laughs because there was no expectation. Jackie did almost my exact jokes.
Right.
But Jackie was supposed to be a brilliant comedian. I don't even want to hear it, but I listened to it, and it is fucking funny. It's like Gary Page 2.
Is this where I supposedly rigged the audience?
Yes. But I'm telling you that, there were too many people there for us to tell for it to be that silent.
I know, it was a room full of people.
Howard, here's a man who takes credit for everything you say, yet the only thing funny about him is his belly button.
So true.
Please welcome the very
That was a good line. So far, so good.
Everything's going very upset. Jackie, the joke man, Bartlett.
Yeah, let's see this. All right, this is his big moment.
I remember sitting there on that day thinking, if he bombs, my life's going to be hell.
But who would have expected him to bomb?
And I was sitting there going, I better try and interject a few things to make it funny.
Look, you can't get out of the chair. Let me see what happens now.
Shut up.
This is his big moment. Now it's your show.
This is Jackie Uncensored.
Yeah, we'll see how funny this is, Robin.
Jackie Uncensored and Unedited.
All right, give him a chance.
Stereo morons right here.
Go ahead, all right.
All right.
8 years I've waited to call you Big Bird to your face, you gawky bastard.
All right, go ahead.
They're not going to laugh at one thing I say.
No, that's right.
We'll laugh when they laugh.
Yeah.
How about that?
That's the deal. Okay, Howard.
Go ahead, get out all your anger.
Howard Stern.
That's good.
You take away his looks, his body, his charm, and his personality, and what have you got? Howard Stern. Gary laughed at that.
No, Gary.
People say to me, Jackie, how can Howard act like such a jerk? It's simple, he's not acting. Oh, this
good. Now you realize.
I'm doing so much better than Henny, but at least he was old.
At least
Howard.
now you realize that you need me.
Write me a joke.
That's what you realize. You need me.
I absolutely got to have you.
Go ahead, continue with your act.
I admit that Howard does work hard. He had to search far and wide to find a producer whose face he could make fun of.
All right, anyway, it's painful. But I listen.
But you remember he walked off the show on Monday.
Yes.
That was another.
Why did he
because we would never admit.
We wouldn't admit that we rigged the audience.
And he walked off?
He said, I need a mental health day. Yeah, do you remember?
Yeah.
He goes, Howard, admit it. You go, I'm not going to admit it because it didn't happen. He was very upset, so he left.
He left the show.
He left the show.
Took a day.
Mental health day.
Good Lord.
You put up with a lot of shit.
I did.
And you're sitting there going, God, I put up with a lot of shit.
What about my mental health? It was such an elaborate thing that we rigged him first with bad jokes, then we rigged the audience.
Well, how could we do that? Because he did his own material.
We
so we
hypnotized
couldn't
him.
get in there.
I hypnotized him. He was the Manchurian comedian. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Well, anyway, Mutt did a good job. Yes, Andrew. You've asked your question. Thank you.
Jackie's very ungrateful. He should have been on his hands and knees thanking God that he was working for
Well,
us.
I didn't ask him for that.
There was no reason for that. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, I begged him. I said, you got no pressure on you.
It's just terribly ungrateful. Like, it's just abusing what you're given.
Yep. All right, Andrew, thank you. Well, it's a good lesson for all of us. You got something good, go with it.
Benji, do you realize that you're the thing that drove him over the edge?
What do you mean?
Jackie. Every time Jackie starts talking, it's like, and then they brought Benji in. know you were such a potent force?
No.
You were going to get him
I didn't.
out of his seat?
I didn't. I'm going to start doing